Welcome, SASANs, to this week's episode of SASANs and Dragons, our homebrew house rule infested game of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I am Magnus Beasticus, your dungeon master for the evening, and as you will notice, our little losers here can't quite stay put. They are on another grand adventure. We are happy for them. Sad that they're not here. But ultimately, the adventures of Varkir and Herchek never seem to be over. So there's always something for them to do. This game will pick up exactly where the other game left off. Herchek and Varkir flying with a sort of a confiscated, knocked out scientist on one single giant bat-formed Unagoth, where Crow and Thunky are riding another Unagoth short distance away from them, passing through the fog of the floating forest on their way back to their ship of Nahalis's Eye. We will go ahead and roll the character intros, just so you have an idea, if this is your first time joining, of who at least Herchek, Varkir, and the two missing losers are for this grand adventure. And we'll see you on the other side.
I'm Thunky Beerbot, and don't let my facial hair fool you. I am a female mountain dwarf druid. I come from a long line of beer brewers, hence the name Beerbot. I had a mostly normal upbringing in the mountains of northern Melibrius, and I've always had an affinity towards animals, not so much the ruling races. I have many fond childhood memories of wandering the local forests in search of new furry friends. Eventually, on the advice of my parents, I enrolled in druidic studies and began honing my spellcasting abilities. My instructor, Elder Dalbrook, was a highly logical man and taught me my most important life lesson, that even though nature is beautiful, it cannot exist without chaos. There isn't a day that goes by that I do not repeat that message to myself. I understand that not all beasts can be tamed, and sometimes I will have to battle one. I don't like to admit it, but this happens more often with my new family, Oren's Obliterate. But I will stop at nothing to ensure their safety, and I may cause some chaos in the process.
If you were to gaze upon the mysterious property of Orenbelle's finest artificer, you would find a very large mansion met by a garden with superbly sculpted shrubbery. At any given time, there is but only one worker which may be found on these grounds. And why, that is me, Crow. I am one of Master Cumentus's many creations. The majority of my being is made up of organic, plant-like material. The rest is mechanical. There are many duties for which I was created for, some of which include cooking, cleaning, obtaining materials and ingredients, assisting with laboratory duties, removing trespassers from the property, acting as the master's personal bodyguard when in town, and closest friend, always. These may be some of my regular duties, though Master Cumentus mentioned that I am fully loaded with great purpose and grand potential. I have yet to discover the meaning behind those words. Maybe he was referencing the inaccessible areas of my internal systems. Or maybe he was just trying to make me feel better about my self-realized lack of greater purpose in this world. Or maybe it is a metaphor for the many journeys he planned for us. Either way, I seek to discover the true potential of my being.
Hello, I am Varkir Invictari. I am an Aasimar of the clan Invictari at Barathor's Reach. To explain more about myself, I must first explain the world we live in, full of angels and monsters that toy with mortal lives like cheap coins. I sought out to rid us of the need to constantly appease these beings of considerable power. Even if all the world is my enemy, they will thank me when the work is done. For I believe in the strength of my fellow mortal. We have turned the tides of battle with nothing but one act that has spiraled out to a glory that is yet to be rivaled in this day and age. Kalinor, my right hand, my sword and shield. Otero, my left, my bow. All the others were dear to me, just as my mother and father. The angel that speaks to me in my dreams warns me of the dangers of what I do. But I know my path is virtuous, though I cannot say the same for the company I now find myself with. They may represent the truest of dangers, or the brightest of futures. Time will tell.
My name is Herchek Bane. I am from the clan the Frenzied Bear, whose home is at the northeastern part of the Shattered Peaks. Growing up, I was split between two tribes, fighting over the land we both tried to call our own. My tribe's battle mentality was of pure carnage during warring, praising an unknown entity that I personally detested. My father, Urkhelm Bane, was fourth in line to be chieftain, known in the tribe to be a fierce warrior on the battlefield, and to have saved many lives in combat over the ages. He has but one mighty secret, which is where I come in. Born from a forbidden love with a mighty warrior woman from the clan the Roaring Tempest, my tribe's rivals. My mother, Rakir Stormwill, the Roaring Tempest. She was a brutal warrior on the battlefield and a kind priestess to those in need. Her deity, Regentia, as a weapon as well as her shield, is the goddess I now follow. After years of secrecy, I could no longer hold back my rage. During a battle with a fellow clansman, I unleashed my storm-bound fury. Luckily, through the deeds of my father and the tribe, I was not sentenced to death on the spot. I was, though, cast out from my clan, exiled, never to return or show my face around them. My title in the clan removed from me. One day I will return to my homeland and take over my clan to show them that there can be peace amongst all tribes. Unity is what I seek for the Goliath race, and I will achieve that goal, even if it takes my life.
All right, SASAns, for the massive amount of you that have been paying ample amounts of attention from game to game, counting the minutes and seconds, we are going to retcon the two groups that were on the two Unagoths leaving the second camp of the Denebron soldiers. The outfit currently is what I mentioned before the character intros, which is Varkir riding on top of the giant bat-winged Unagoth, and Herchek in the clutches of its talons below, holding a scientist underneath his knocked out scientist underneath his arm as they're flying through the fog. Herchek, you notice that the scientist is sort of rousing awake.
It's what I do.
Quickly slaps him. Boops him on
Okay.
the head. Ooh, brain damage. No, he's not going to remember.
You'd have to roll with disadvantage because you're...
It's all right. I roll a 3.
Okay.
Because I rolled at advantage.
Your fist ends up not so much knocking him back out, but just sort of like rousing him awake. And you hear, what? I'm in the air. I'm strong arms. Where are we going? You fools!
Welcome, friend.
You've taken me away from important research. I'm no threat to you.
Yes, you are.
You know, if you look back at your camp, you'll see that it's probably, destroyed and they're all dead.
As
So we saved
Varkir's
you.
like leaning over the flapping wings of the Unagoth, you just see his dark-skinned Aasimar features, or light gray-skinned Aasimar features, and he says, "You don't understand. We've done it. We've found the source of these hellish creatures. You must listen to me at least. An entity holds dominion over our dreams in this place, and we have found them. Dormant, however, the nodding fog amplifies their influence over the thin veil between reality and the unreality of our dreams, and has been allowing fiends from our nightmares to waltz into the material realm. Here, let me show you.
Sounds like my cup of tea.
And he sort of like,
Can
as you're...
I do an insight check on him?
Yeah, sure.
That's cocked.
It's cocked on the paper. I mean, it's pretty.
Oh, I thought you were
no,
I thought you
it's-
wrote that one.
He tells me all of his secrets because I rolled a 4.
This all sounds kind of crazy to you. Like you still don't know much about the floating forest. It's always been sort of filled with these hellish entities, and you did see him experimenting on both people and monsters back at Camp 2, and you also remember the being that wrapped itself around you that seemed to be a monstrously formed, like misshapen copper soldier who was running on his own out of the base. And so you're putting something, like what he says is still completely bizarre, but it's like out of everything you've seen here, it's all questions still. You're just like, what the fuck? As he's like, you feel his arms shuffling in like his sort of like doctor's outfit, sort of like opens up a little bit, and he reaches in and he goes, "Your cloaks won't help you for this." And he crushes the vial that you see filled with like this like hyper dense fog, and
Just drop him.
all of you guys are do you drop him?
I wouldn't. No.
I
Need him.
You are quickly enveloped by this thick fog that even destroys your vision right in front of you. Whereas you're already in a sort of like pretty dense fog right now, you are completely consumed by this, and your consciousness fades as you both sort of the setting and scene that you were flapping through previously fades away from you, and sleep takes you.
I mean, wouldn't I drop him?
Do we crash?
Yeah, like what's gonna happen to our bodies?
You'll see, potentially. After what seems like almost like a blink of an eye, you start to awake and sort of like shuffle around. You are not in a comfortable position. You're not laying on a flat surface. You sort of like shift around, and you hear sort of like the pulling of ropes, like, and you feel other forms, other shapes, other bodies in this situation with you. As you, your vision comes to, you notice that you are being hung above in a giant, a very large net with both Herchek. You notice Varkir's sort of, is it blood red armor or blood red sort of like leather? What's your armor?
Oh,
again?
I have a scale man. It's like almost like so you know how like there's the steel, and it's like there's like worn steel that's like matted almost, and like looks kind of like gray.
Mm-hmm.
That's my scale mail is basically worn old scale mail that looks kind of gray.
Oh, okay. You feel the pressing of Varkir's hard scale mail into your also hard flesh, but you also feel a more sort of like fleshy form of the scientist as well, as he's in here, and he goes, "No, you do not see the
good.
god in
Thank
here."
God, that would have been bad.
I'm like, oh,
Kill it!
As you hear the scientist go, "Here we go again," or not. I'm sorry, not again, but here we go.
Why would you do this if you said "here we go"?
I kind of pushed Varkir off me. Like,
So as you come
So
to,
comfortable now.
you come to the mutterings of an individual on the bottom of the floor that you guys are suspended about 20 feet above right now, and you feel heat sort of like wafting up from under you. You can make a perception check.
Yeah.
if you want.
rolling hot tonight. 4.
You notice
Not the only one that could be rolling, Varkir.
Oh,
you notice that you're in a
Jesus.
wait, aren't you? Isn't your turn?
cavern. You're in a.
It's not turns. What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can roll.
Oh, I want to look around then. Yeah.
Welcome to D&D. Hey, there we go.
So is that perception?
Yes.
So it's 18, not well, 18, yeah.
18, not natural.
18. Okay. You notice that you're in a dimly lit cave, but you also notice that the colors that make up this entire scene, it's inescapable. It's almost as though it's watercolor. Like all of the features are there, but it's this like static, almost like paint that creates everything that you're seeing right now. Herchek is a painted individual too. His facial features slightly morphed and looking a bit different. The fire beneath you almost looks like a cartoon, as you can see it sort of like coming around the edge of a giant pot that you are over. You notice that your belongings are gone. You're stripped but for your armor pieces. And you notice a lot of different, like this is a cavern that is lived in by two individuals. You see sort of like personal effects and benches and hammocks bolted into the walls of the cavern in one area, and you see this like pile of equipment in another with different chests and whatnot. And you see at one table with a bunch of different spices and different things, putting them together, this rabbit form, like humanoid rabbit formed creature, a little bit smaller than your typical human. And he goes, "Not this time. Oh no, I don't know where you've come from, but my belly knows where you're going. Won't let another meat mind go gallivanting around doing as they please, especially when they're so tasty. Olianyao, stoke the fire." And this smaller rabbit form goes, "Coming up, the hotter the fire, the faster it boils, the sooner we eat. My stomach's a drooling." And this little rabbit kid sort of like hops over to the bottom of the cauldron and starts What would you guys like to do? As for right now, you have not.
Oh, they haven't seen us?
They know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
You imagine that they're like you are in a net suspended above a boiling cauldron.
So they were talking to us.
They were talking to you guys. Yes.
Hey, you don't want to eat us. I got diseases. A lot of them.
They rise from there.
A lot of diseases.
Can I like reach over to her check and just poke him and cast freedom of movement on him? Basically make it so there's no difficult terrain, and spells and other magical effects that can neither reduce the target's speed nor cause the target to be paralyzed or restrained. And you can spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape any non-magical restraints.
Yeah, I will say the nature of this spell for this situation, this predicament, since you are wholly encompassed by a net, you can sort of pinpoint the most weakest points of twine in the net and sort of assume where certain portions of strength above a certain amount will just be able to break it almost immediately. It's like finding the absolute weak point in an entire object, so where if you poke it, it falls apart.
Okay.
And so you are sort of, as Varkir taps you, and you are sort of like getting their attention and saying, "Oh, it tastes bad," and farting to prove the point. Max.
They didn't hear.
I'm gonna put a very nasty fart noise in here, but you see this, and so you're just sort of like talking and keeping their attention, but you are confident that you can just sort of slip out whenever you want. You're not sure about your teammates.
Just get out and cut the rope. I can find my own
Okay,
way out.
can I see where, like?
But you are above a boiling cauldron.
Is there so we're on like a pulley system? Like, can I see where the rope is going? Like
the rope, is going. The rope is going up around the pulley system, and it goes down to maybe about the taller, older rabbit individual is now turned looking at you, and about 15 feet away from him, it's anchored to a rock and pulled around. And the little kid is on the opposite side of him, sort of stoking and now looking up at you guys as well. And he goes, "Oh, you've managed to rise from your slumber. The active prey tastes all the better."
Can I spit in the pot that's below us? Like,
Start swinging. Swing it.
Your
We're swinging.
It's
whoa, that's really hot. That's,
Swing. We're swinging. We're swinging. We're swinging.
no.
We're swinging real hard, and then
What you
we're-
gonna do?
and then I'm
What
gonna
you
slip
gonna
out.
do? Jump up there
I'm gonna
and
slip
grab
out.
it.
I'm gonna slip out
you gonna
on a good swing.
Okay, roll initiative, everybody. I'm gonna slip out.
I'm just gonna slip out. They're not gonna notice. All right. Ooh, wow! I keep rolling 14s with this. So
18.
so 15, 16, 17,
All right.
19. So it's 19, not natural.
What did you do to get?
18.
19.
19. Okay, so it is her check. After... No, yeah, it's her check. Bark here.
Why do I go first?
Cause you're out.
Oh, I'm sorry, 19, 18?
Yeah.
Other way around.
I was like,
Jesus. Okay, her check. You are Varkir, what are you doing?
So you said one of them was near the pot, like stoking it or something like that, stoking the fire, doing something with it.
Yes. Right at the base. Again, about like 15 feet below you.
Is he like right next to the fire?
Yeah, he's under. He's like peeking up around the bulbous portion of the cauldron.
Okay, so I would like to cast blindness on him, just so he can't see what he's actually doing. He has to do a Constitution saving throw of 16.
Okay. Fails.
So he has.
I can't see him. What's going on? What's gonna happen to our meal? They're doing it again.
He said again? What do they mean again?
Okay, so that's your action. You have a bonus and a
I guess I can't move out of this net. So
yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
can't.
just like
restrained.
squirm around and be like, I'll gum you to death.
Okay. Attack rolls against have advantage. The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. Okay. Her check, you're up.
Slipping out.
Okay. I am going to roll a thing.
I don't allow it.
So
Doesn't happen.
as the net is swaying over closer to the larger rabbit, who seems to be more of the authoritative figure here, you slip out directly to the left of him, and there is an exit that you land almost smack dab in front of as you make a dexterity saving throw to see if you...
Ooh. 10.
10.
Can you
Is this
see
a
it?
dexterity? Is this acrobatics?
But can you see it?
Not quite.
Or
You have-
athletics?
You have advantage
You
on things
take-
you can see.
It's not athletic.
5 points. It's not athletics. It's
Oh,
just
wait up.
dexterity saving throw. That would have been perfect 5 minutes ago. So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you smack your shoulder into the ground, landing a bit sort of awkwardly, but you have managed to free yourself from the net. Varkir, there is a small opening that presents itself from Herchek's exit out, as he almost just like zoop, and
Whoa.
yeah.
Pretty amazing there.
So you have your action. I would say that is your movement, but you can either have that be your action or your movement, whatever you want to
Well,
be.
why would I? It's gonna be my movement if you give me the choice.
Okay.
I was like, that would be my action, but okay. How far away is the rabbit? Wow.
They really put a lot in there. Oh my god.
Need I have that for because of the yeah.
So historically messy. Okay, what's your question?
How far away is he? Is he in
He's like
grabbing
5-10 feet away
distance?
from you. He's 5-10 feet away, not grabbing distance. He's too far away for that.
Is the rope next to me? Just the exit.
Just the exit. The rope is not next to you. No, the rope is on the other side of him.
I'll hold an attack if he comes near me.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay.
If he's not in distance of me, and I still have my action, then I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay, for if he attacks?
Yeah, if he comes in my vicinity, I'm gonna give him the old rope.
1,
dope.
2.
Okay. The scientist is up, and he is going, "Oh, I'm not prepared for this. I'm not. What are you going to do?"
You put us in here.
I aim to get us out, too, but I need to be free. I'm not dropping now. Can you lower it?
I'm in here with you.
You just used you just blinded that fellow.
From a distance.
All right, I'm just at the whim of this thing then.
What can you do?
He's sort of like flipping through some vials that he has, and it's like 2, and he goes, this won't work against them. The more authoritative, older looking rabbit folk is going to say, the Phelan do not take kindly to this incursion anymore. And he sort of breaks out of his satchel a red glowing cylinder that looks like it's just filled to the brim with paint. And he chucks it at you, Herchek.
Catch it.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Catch it.
At advantage?
Well, you can see it, so.
No, not at advantage. Wait, you're seeing it, so yeah, it'd be at advantage. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll use this other dice. Wow,
Maybe you should
double
use the other one.
nines. Let's see what it would have been. It would have been worse. Double nines.
That
So
keeps rolling a 3.
I know it's insane. 10.
Okay, this the vial shatters on your chest, and the containing aspects of it, like the glass, just sort of like turn to smoke and fade away as this blue orb just shoots all around you in a 10-foot radius, and you are now inside of this sort of like red orbed chamber, and all of your movements feel sluggish. Your words feel sluggish.
He has freedom of movement on.
And you realize it does nothing to you. As this sort of like, you see this sort of luminescent coating around you that's reflecting the redness of the material that you're encompassed in. And you notice that the slickness allows you to just sort of like move freely within this orb.
You just start dancing.
Yeah.
Well, that did not work how I wanted it to.
Yeah, dumbass.
And he runs over to the rope and he goes, "Calm yourself, or I will drop your friends into the boiling water."
Is that his turn?
That is his turn. And does the kid roll anything else?
He has to do the Constitution saving throw on the beginning of his turn for 1 minute.
He fails. The kid says, "Drop him anyway! Drop him anyway! I can't see anything! They did this to me! They're just like them! They're gonna kill us all! Oh, we gotta get him first!" Varkir, you're up.
It's a violent kid. I would like to try and get out of this.
You can get out easily enough, but you pretty much have to roll to see how successful you are, as this thing is just like hovering above the opening.
See this. Big money, no whammies.
If you roll a 1 or 2, you land into the pot.
11. Do I add anything to that?
Wait, I'm sorry. I roll this. Roll a d8.
Oh my gosh, you gave me a shitty one. That's why. That's all your fault.
Did it roll a 1 or 2?
It rolled a 1. That's your fault. Gosh.
Slips.
I'm gonna roll mine, huh? There we go. That's that's a 7. See, on mine it was a 7.
You take 12 points of fire damage as your scale mail heats up immediately as it touches this water, and you just hit the side of it and sort of like roll over off the edge next to the little rabbit kid.
So am I still have my action?
You do still have your action. Well, it's up to you if you use your action or your movement to get out.
I'll use my movement. I'm right next to the rabbit kid. He's blind. I'm gonna grab him and throw him in the fire.
This may
might be good though.
contradict the turn, but you hear the older rabbit man go Olianyo! As the rabbit kid is like, ah! Save me! They're evil!
Go
They
ahead.
come to taint our realm!
Crawl behind you. It's free. I just want to tell him the wrong directions because he can't see to crawl more into the fire.
You throw him into the fire, and he's made out of, water paint fur, and so his fur it's hard to understand outside of like the screams of pain, I suppose the evil nature of the act that you just committed, because it looks so pretty. Like the fire doesn't look like it's singeing his fur. It looks like it's like mixing in with it and just creating this very beautiful art piece as the fire gets larger and larger and spreads across this individual. And you see them try and crawl out frantically or away from you actually and into the bottom, just the bottom of the cauldron gets all the more red from his heat.
Well, maybe you should not try and eat your guests, and that won't happen next time. To tell the older gentlemen, since he's just been like, oh my gosh, it's all your fault. It's all your fault.
Hurtcheck, you're up.
Well, you're outnumbered. You could just give up right now.
You killed. Wow, wrong. Fuck, I'm not. You killed Olialiao.
You were gonna eat us. What do you expect?
And he takes the rope out and lets the scientist fall. And we'll see.
He's not our friend anyways.
Yeah, like that doesn't affect us.
You've doomed me! Or, you've doomed me!
I told you to
I
get
always
out!
go to Quenzel in this campaign all the time. You've doomed me! And then he lets the rope go with just like making eye contact with you, the rabbit person. And they're these like very, the eyes are like almost pure blue as he's making eye contact with you. Just fear and fury in his eyes. And you see the net just hit the side as well and sort of like the majority of the net goes into the cauldron, but the scientist plops down over the side and is sort of like being birthed out of the small portion of open net that you created for him. And his leg did take a bit of damage as it went in.
Like, see, you're fine.
I'm gonna grapple the rabbit.
Is it your turn?
Yeah, I only talked.
Oh, you held your action, but he didn't come near you, did he?
No, it's my actual turn.
Yeah. So you're up. So yeah, you're gonna go grab him.
Yeah, I'm gonna grapple him.
Okay. He's definitely going to try to roll a strength saving throw, or sorry, a strength check, opposing strength check. There's no possible way.
21.
As he sort of sees you just effortlessly walk out of the slowing red orb, he is almost paralyzed in fear as you walk up to him, grab him, and lift him up.
Just gonna hold him, like kind of like a sleeper hold. I'm not gonna try to put him to sleep, but I'm gonna put him in a nice hold.
What are you material walkers doing here? What do you want with us? You've already taken my partner, and now you wish to destroy our realm. Yeah, the kid is dead.
He was telling you to kill us. So...
I go, but Varkir, can you spare the dying? Quickly.
Fine. I go over to the charred remains and just, it's been less than a minute and I just
Combat is over,
pull
I
him
would
out
say at
and
this
I
point.
heal him like, all right. Well, he comes back with 1 point of health. Like, you're lucky, kid. You're lucky.
Suffering! Suffering!
You don't want to go through that again, do you?
I thought I lived in a crazy place, but that was the craziest thing I've ever seen! As, like, still his fur now is just an entire sort of, like... He looks like a furless, flesh, pink rabbit, like...
And the naked more, huh?
Yeah, but again, it doesn't look as grotesque as it would in the real world. It just sort of looks like this combination of different layers and scales of pink and red across his body.
Like he's a weird plushie?
What was that?
I don't know.
No, it's that somebody I used to know. Like that video. It's like a Gaio video.
Yeah. Forgot about that music video. So the kid wakes up and goes, What's going on here?
Well,
You
we're all
killed- you
out
saved me.
now, and you're back to life,
We're not bad people.
and we're not bad people. It's just you attacked us. We're gonna eat us without even saying anything. Kind of just we're here.
The
place.
scientist sort of like pats down the fire on his leg, gets it off, and stands up, sort of like rights his outfit, and he goes, let's just say that they may not be unjustified in their actions here.
What is your name, Rabbit?
Wait a minute. One second. What do you mean, scientists? They may not be unjustified with what they just did. Did you do something to them?
First of all, my name is Curtis Claymore,
I'll call you scientist.
a name of honor that I will accept and have many times in the past.
Okay, CK.
Is
No.
that Curtis with a K?
Curtis with a C.
Oh,
So CC.
Yes.
Okay, CC. Explain.
The rabbit that you're holding, Herchek, goes, You people have been invading our realm for some time now.
Not us.
Making experiments with the guided dreamer.
I turn to the scientist and I'm like, that's the important work that we pulled you away from? I slap him once.
You slap the scientist?
Yes. Just bap.
Roll for damage.
It'll be a d6 since I use my hand. 1. Well, 1 plus 2 is strength.
I came here to show you something of magnificence. My allegiance to the Denebron army is insignificant compared to the work that I wish to complete ahead of me. I came here because my life was in danger, and you needed enlightenment.
Look at the young rabbit. Like, this guy's been doing the bad stuff. You can punch him if you want. Hit him once. Don't kill him. Don't maim him. Just damage him.
I've never been here personally. And the kid goes, Wow, you're the one who set me on fire. You threw me.
I killed you as well. I fixed you. And you tried to eat
You
me.
hurt me. No, I killed you.
I don't think we should be dealing with these people.
No, I killed you and I brought you
I
back.
mean, I don't know what
Afro-Shant is
we
on.
need
I don't
with-
think we should be killing with these people.
I don't know what we need
Or
with
dealing
you
with these
as
people.
this- I don't see anything we could use you of you right now, but I'm keeping you alive for a reason, probably.
Thank Herchek. He's the one who told me to save you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because you're not pure evil? You are?
No,
But you're trying not to be?
Yeah, it's weird.
Tomato tomato.
Yeah. What is evil, kid?
And Afro-Shantazar, which is what his name turns out to be.
Wait, the
You're
kid?
getting that the names of these... No, the kid's name is Ol Yanyao. And Afro-Shantazar. And Afro-Shantazar in your hands goes, You don't need us, do you? Just leave. Go follow the others. Leave us be. and we hope not to be disturbed by you again.
One quick thing.
Where are we?
Janta? I'm gonna call you Jean. Can I call you Jean? Jean?
Call him Afro.
I call you Afro, Jean?
It doesn't matter what foulness comes out of your mouths in any direction. We'll never respect you.
Fair enough. But we had weapons and things when we were, transported.
Oh
here,
yeah, I
guys.
tighten up real hard on him. Like, what the fuck are my weapons?
Where did they go?
Do you not see the huge pile of weapons behind you?
No.
And like,
'Cause
and like 20 feet counterclockwise away from the exit, there's a pile of weapons.
Room wasn't really
and
fully
just in
described
case.
to us.
I did describe there was a pile of equipment in a portion
Must
of
have
it.
slipped my mind. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I loosen up on him just a little bit.
Be back real quick. I just walk over to the
Make sure that's all there, Varkir.
And I want to check and see if everything's there and separate.
Make sure Pinky's over there.
You find everything.
Okay.
Everything of yours, and it seems to be just your equipment too.
It's my 800,000 gold there.
He had 800,000 gold.
Yeah, where is it?
Yeah, it just looks like a pile of shit in this universe. So.
Just drawing money like.
Afro, where is this place? What is this place?
You're in the Guiding Dreamers Highway.
Highway. So
The land between mines.
So how do we get to the guided dreamer to ask him if we can leave this place?
The Guided Dreamer has been in a sleeping state for some time now. We do not know how to wake him.
You see his fists? Got some pretty big fists. I bet that's the way those could wake him.
Things have gone awry in his state. His powers over the dreams of man continue as his mind has stopped. And then Curtis pipes in and he goes, I knew this was the case. We are seeing this in the outside world. There is much to be done here, much to learn.
I'm sorry, that sounded like Kung Pao. Yes.
Good.
Don't do that. Yes.
Oh, me Betty. All right, Afro. I'm gonna let you go. No funny business. So you agree?
We already tried our funny business, and it was not enough, as it was not enough before.
What do you keep saying before? Who was before us?
Curtis was before us.
Curtis just said he wasn't here.
Curtis's pals from the Denebron army.
People in bronze?
I do not know what bronze is.
Like
their
red,
color was a
brown.
darkish muted orange.
Yeah, it's bronze.
Were there a lot of them? And were they mean people?
Of course,
I'll
they
let
were
him
mean.
go.
Yeah.
Much of the Phelan have fallen to their blades and fire that they bring here.
So, Curtis, those are our enemies. We could be allies, you and us. We just thought you were with them, so we attacked you because you wanted to eat us.
Afro Shantazar.
So Afro Shantazar, we I don't know why.
Remember the name.
I mean, Curtis could have tried to eat.
Yes, I am over here. Curtis.
Alright, I'm gonna go put on my gear.
Okay.
So I want to continue talking to Afro, being like, hey, we could be allies. Would you be willing to set aside your quarrels with the Denebron? Because Clarence, I keep wanting to say Clarence, but it's Claymore. Claymore here is part of their army, but he doesn't necessarily fit in with them, apparently.
Roll a persuasion check. So I can tell you that it's very high after killing his friend.
I brought him back to life, though.
Hey!
19 plus 5.
Yeah.
24.
Take that.
Your initial actions are very misleading to the composure that you have right now.
I will agree. We were at fault. Not really at, but yes.
Nope, not taking any fault. Nope,
Herchek doesn't take any fault.
Completely on you guys.
Curtis takes all the
You
fault.
tried to eat us. We killed you. Well,
I listen
think we're pretty even
to
here.
you on behalf of your friend, the big gray one, as
I was gonna say gorilla. I was gonna punch him.
he did not slay my friend. And then you hear
apologize.
Oleanyao go, "No, you shouldn't listen to him. You don't know what I saw."
What did you see?
I'm on just like, like flying him staring like I saved you. I could have left you for dead, but I saved you because you know why? We're
'Cause I
not
told- 'cause
your
I told you to.
enemies. Shh, we're not your enemies.
Do what you want, Afro Shantazar. I'll never trust him.
What did you
And
see
he
though?
goes,
No, what did you see though?
Indescribable horrors. I tried over and over again in my mind to put a description, to put any kind of word to what I saw, but
Oh, you probably went to a place called Heck.
Heck.
That's where little shits go. Maybe if you were good, didn't try to eat people, you'd go to some other place.
it seemed different than heck. Leave me alone. Yes, I think it is time that you all left here. We will not bother you anymore.
Who else would bother us while we're here?
Your friends that are ahead of you.
Whoa,
They
we're-
brought some equipment in
Where
here
are they
as
headed?
well.
we're
Give
not
me a
friends.
direction.
We're not friends.
Do you have a map? Do you have a map?
He just pointed out of the.
You don't have a map?
There's no reason to have a map here for us, the Phelan.
I see.
Helpers, assistants, and acolytes to the guiding dreamer.
I had to do just a quick perception check. Do I see any potion, like vials with red stuff in it? I know what a health potion looks like, but that's
Yeah, you see a red vial on like the bench where he was working, and that's about it.
I go over to it like, what is this? What is this? What are you making over here, potion maker?
I'm not just quite sure you deserve that knowledge.
I pick it up.
He like tries to resist, but sees the size of you, examines it one more time, and then backs away.
You just could just tell me what it is.
This is my own invention, a device, a liquid of my own making. It slows down all matter inside.
Oh,
The
that
fact that you could not submit yourself to it is disconcerting to me. Imagine there are other magics at work. I hope it is not the same for those copper, as you call them,
Clad.
Well,
clad people.
we're gonna go stop them. That is our goal.
So I have a bag of menacing things on me, don't I? So can I reach in the bag, pull one thing out, and see what it is?
Isn't like that like there's a percentage where you could just
Be
destroy
quiet.
the world?
Be quiet.
Yeah, roll a d20.
11 again. Oh, 14, actually.
14, it is a mostly broken skull. Like all you have is the front part where it's like the eyes and part of the teeth. You pull it out and like the two eye portions are glowing purple.
I say, so we just took something of yours as a gift to show you that we're not evil. I want to.
Put that back in the bag. I don't want it. That is pure evil. The bag of menacing things is nothing that I want a
You know
gift from.
you know of the bag. Ah, you're one out to my own heart.
You called it the bag of menacing things.
Oh. Never mind then. I'll put this back there. Actually, I'll take.
I got this.
I'll
Mark.
keep
I
this.
got it.
I'll keep the
I
skull
got
out and just like look at him like.
I got it. So,
All right,
so,
I'll hold the skull.
so we're kind of allies at this side of situation. I'm gonna ask, can I use this to stop them? If you say no, I'll put it back.
Roll a persuasion check.
12.
You have done enough here. You've shown your capabilities are more than enough. I'm sure you can deal with this on your own.
So, actually, Afro, we're actually mercenaries a little bit as well. If you'd like to pay us to do anything for you, we could do that as well.
We don't have any currency.
Currency is whatever you want. It can be a piece of firewood, whatever that red vial was, whatever another red vial would be, whatever you have to offer.
Nope, nothing to offer. Get out of my home.
I will bid you adieu then.
I will walk out with the potion. And then as I'm...
He said no.
I have a thing. Okay, let me finish here. Like, all right, Vark, here, let's get out of here. Let's fucking leave these rabbits. And as we're both leaving, I turn around at the door. I go, oh, yeah. Throw it to him.
Come on, Claymore. Let's go. Let's go, Claymore.
And I close the door behind me.
Claymore, is he running out for this, or?
He's sort of like passive about this whole thing. He doesn't really care about the emotional tug of war that's going on with Afro-Shantazan, and so he's
Curtis, like, nudge him.
He's just sort of like also not really wanting to go with you guys at the same time. He just sort of like tags along anyway. The rabbit actually hops up into the air, grabs it, and sort of like pockets it in in the same satchel.
I did it. Maybe I was hoping it would break on him, but whatever.
He's trapped in there like
forever.
Father.
Okay, so you guys are leaving out of the opening.
Put all our stuff back on. I still have that skull in my hand, I guess. So I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah. Real quick, I just gotta poke in the bag. Hey, Pinky, new area. Check this out.
New to someone, maybe.
God damn it, Pinky, you fucking stupid, motherfucking crazy. This guy's crazy.
Say hi to Moriandal for me.
Wait, Moriandal.
Who?
I don't like being in this place.
Oh, you've noticed.
Good luck on your own. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna leave us alone again, Pinky. No worries.
If Pinky doesn't like this place, it's dangerous. I would like to look over to Curtis to be like, could you see what this skull does?
Did Curtis see Pinky come out of the bag?
What is that?
What?
Fascinating creature you have there. What an interesting group I found myself in the presence of. As you guys are walking along a cliff's edge, as you exit the cave, the cavern, you see that it's a long and extensive sort of arcing back and forth across a very tall and high mountain that you find yourself on. You see almost this like hyperlight drifter series of colors in the distance of just like a green, impossibly expansive forest beneath you of waving and shifting trees, many different scales of green interacting, weaving back and forth, almost creating this ocean effect of a green canopy below. And the sky is pink with tan clouds that are angular. And it seems very much like almost like a dreamscape come to life. There's foliage dipping off and over, not only on the ledges that you guys are walking over, but on ledges that are higher up, spilling different foliage down across the way. And the path extends maybe 50 feet before it arcs around the first corner. And you can see in the distance that the path keeps sort of arcing and going back and forth and back and forth.
Wow. So I guess on our walk through this winding path of being careful, I just want to like look back at Claymore and be like, hey, can you see what this skull does, actually? I'm not sure exactly. And I slowly lean it over towards him, like, here you go. It's got glowing purple eyes, so it's got to do something.
Believe it or not, I'm a scientist. I'm a man of nature in finding out its secrets.
This has secrets.
That is a thing of evil.
Put it on your
and
face.
Dealing with spirits.
Put it on your face, Rakir.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Ooh.
4 plus 4. Or wisdom saving throw, so it's 4 plus 8.
Still 12 isn't quite enough as he puts it on like meh, and then his arm falls to his side.
Plus.
Grabs his blade and
I have a halberd. Well, the blade is actually the blade is that the sentient blade that I have.
I thought that was in your fuck. What's the bag called? The bag of holding. That was in your bag of holding.
Conflux of realities, yes.
Conflux of realities.
Yes, that's why you name the bag. Whatever.
It's in your conflux of realities.
Okay, so then I guess it's just a severed serrated bone dagger on my hip then,
yeah. And you hear this sort of like intense laughter enter your skull. You see Varkir's smile go end to end, unnaturally large, as beneath the teeth his lips part and continue up all the way almost to his cheekbones.
I try to rip it off.
Okay, make an opposing strength check.
Hello.
Wow, the one time you fucking roll super high!
So it's 20, not natural. Oh my gosh. Dang.
And you hear, "Nothing breaks my freedom today, big one!" And you get shanked. Go ahead and roll a d8 and add 2d4 necrotic damage.
Oh man. So luckily 1 and 2d4.
Wow.
1 and 1.
3 points.
I told you I didn't want to mess with a series of supernatural items.
All right, now I'm gonna recklessly punch it off.
Okay, go for it. As the blade is inserted into, and all of the damage is taken from him goes to you, Varkir.
21.
21. Okay, yeah, you shatter it on his face as you hear this echoing, this descending echoing.
I'm just like, why'd you just hit me all of a sudden? What happened? You
take 6 points.
You told me to
I regret bringing you in here.
You told me to put the mask on and you punched me?
I mean, you were going crazy. Look, Curtis, okay, one thing you gotta know about us. We get shit done. The way we get it done, not so pleasant, but we get it done. Regardless.
The Denebron army is ahead of us. I suggest we move very quickly.
I like what you're saying there.
Swiftly.
We need to move.
If you have intentions of stopping them, which is also the key to my life being continuous, then we should move quickly.
Very well, let us do that. I actually put the dagger away, so I'm like, why do I have this out?
You stabbed me.
What? You punched me.
Actually, go ahead and roll damage.
I did. 5.
Oh,
yeah,
you take
I
5?
took 6.
Oh, sorry, 6. Yeah, 6.
You guys are better than I am.
I rolled a 1 and 5 strength.
Okay. You guys proceed along this cliffway. Are you trying to be stealthy? Are you trying to be
Who's being
quick?
quick as
Are you
possible.
trying to be as quick as
Let's just
possible?
be quick.
Okay. Shuffling along, sometimes you have to put your back up against the rock because the edge or the ledge gets so thin, and you are starting to notice like a series of similar sort of architectural, I guess, implementations along this cliff. Like, you are not walking along a natural path. You're walking along a built stone path that is older than you could ever put an estimate on, that's just fallen into disarray and ruin. You're continuing along, arcing back and forth, and you start to see sort of this like pulse of blue and green color over the cliff in the distance, or over the mountainside in the distance, that shows that you're getting closer to some form of activity. As you've traveled for maybe about 10 minutes, also getting higher and higher, you're noticing as well. You notice that there is a form slumped on the corner, just sort of like back pressed against the vines, sort of breathing in and out ever so slowly, maybe like 20 meters away from you.
I'm gonna turn to Curtis and be like, or Claymore, and be like, So, you said you've never been here before, but you've sent people here, haven't you?
Yes.
So, what stories have they brought back of this path, or what they've been doing here? Any dangers along the way of getting to their destination, or you probably heard stories. I know you've heard stories. Soldiers love stories.
The Phelan, the creatures that we just spoke to, populate this region, this realm. We don't know yet, but they are prevalent. We've killed many of them as they attempt to protect their master, the Guiding Dreamer. I imagine that fellow over there is one unlucky Phelan. The Guiding Dreamer himself is a scene of unbelievable magnificence, it turns out. And he's right, he is dormant. We have been unsuccessful at waking him, yet we have other plans.
I'm walking up to it.
So
You hear this like wet breathing.
So this creature is actually like on the path. That's like a cliff path.
Yeah, you'd have to step over him.
So like if he causes trouble, we can just push him off.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can just.
If he causes trouble.
I like poke him like, hey, what happened? Hey, we're here to help the Guided Dreamer.
Roll a persuasion check because you're another person who looks like the.
I even mentioned the Guided Dreamer's name. It's advantage. Good boy. Natural 20.
Dang.
Please, there isn't enough time.
Yeah, sounds like a nerd.
The monsters are on their way
Can
to the Guiding Dreamer.
How far?
A matter of minutes ahead.
Can I walk up to
They've
this?
posted up somebody around the corner to stop any defenses coming to stop them.
Are you gonna make it?
If you help,
So yeah, can I help him?
Yeah. Go ahead and help him, Remy.
Sure, yeah, he looks beaten to a pulp. Most of, like half of his body is burned in a similar pink fashion as Olianyao.
So can I? I'm gonna use cure wounds on him. Yeah, level 1 cure wounds. So he gets a 1d8 plus 4 health back.
Hey! Oh.
So he
I thought that
gets,
was an 8.
So he gets 7 health back.
You see some of his fur sort of like grow immediately. Some of the pink sort of like turn to more of a tan color on his body, and he goes, "Please, you must go quickly. They're at the Guiding Dreamer. They brought mechanisms with them. I don't know what they're for." And you hear Curtis sort of like laugh under his breath. There's not enough time, I imagine. I've already felt shifts.
Okay, we're leaving then. Bye.
Thank you.
And then on the way, Curtis, what the fuck are we walking into right now?
let us just say that we found we couldn't wake him, but we can manipulate his influence. The nightmares of the floating forest will become even more hellish should the Denebron army be successful. They'll shackle them under their own reign.
Well then,
With my help, admittedly.
we must stop them. And
Alright, I'm also sheathing the Red Tempest and pulling out the Starlight Conqueror for this dude around the corner.
Okay.
I'm gonna, Remy, you go on the
Who's
path.
Remy?
Remy!
Remy!
We're in this together!
Barkir, you go, and I'm gonna flank. Is there anywhere to flank? It's just a path?
Just one
It's
second,
just
one
a
second.
path, but there is like
Can I climb?
foliage that extends up quite a ways, I would say.
I'd like to say like one second, and I like look at myself. I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't know. Like maybe this world is like putting my two halves together. And it's weird. So it's like I turn to the injured person, like, go see Afro Shanti. He's at the end of this path. He knows of us. We're not his favorite people, but tell him, ask for help. Maybe he'll help you if you know. Do you know of him? I assume all of you know each other here.
You do notice that the bridge between Varkir and Darkir, as I've called him, we're both Varkir, the dark and light, is more tangible here. Like both of your dreams that you've had numerous times throughout your entire life are at the forefront of your memories, and you can feel them continually sort of like bleeding in. Anything that you've forgotten in your sleeping hours is like very prevalent right now. You have a lot of dreams of the sea, of dark storms, of Regentia whispering to you, of influencing you down a path that you never knew was as obvious until the point that you had actually sort of like convened with her. You have a bisection of memories, Varkir, of dreams, of both dark and light, of helping people, of riding with your comrades, of engaging in glorious war, of engaging in your dark solo affairs to your god rather than your people. And this is just something that's just like a hint that you felt sort of like weird ever since coming in here. Something
Like a thing, like what? That feels different, but I can't quite put a finger on it.
And he goes, I know now that I can trust you. Afro Shansazar is a good Phelan. If he's alive still, I trust your word. And he brings out this like dagger from behind, and he's just wearing one belt. Otherwise, he's just a naked white rabbit person. And he takes out the dagger and he goes, "My blade is yours. I don't expect to make it out alive, but they've taken enough of my friends, and I want revenge.
But you're like dead.
I can do something. I can be a distraction. Whatever you need me to be."
Yeah, you should just live.
The best thing you could do is go live with Shanti.
Yeah,
live with
go
Afro
ward
Shanti,
him.
and then gain your strength, then come back and help.
Yeah, we'll be on this. You know where we'll be. We'll be at the guided dream. But you don't need to come with us right now.
We'll send a signal.
Okay? No way, shape, or form. Ready to come with us.
And he sort of like looks at the rest of his body and sort of takes a deep breath. Fine. So I'll see if he can patch me up.
Don't have him meet you though.
Leafs.
He loves to eat people.
Interlopers, we all do. And so he just sort of like with like a gimp leg sort of like hops away.
Jesus Christ. All right, I'm gonna try to go up the foliage.
Are you doing stealth now?
You know what?
And the foliage goes up, and like the cliffside above you arcs out and over, so this foliage is like hanging down in dense amounts. It hangs about like 70 feet above you, and the foliage has a clear path to climb from where you are now to anywhere in that 70 feet.
No, fuck that. No, let's just go on the path. Let's just go. We got no time.
Okay.
But I am preparing a reckless attack.
No stealth?
No.
Okay.
If anybody pops, I have danger sense, so I'm good.
I'm going to just stay behind the nearest corner.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Scientist, nerd. Going forward.
I have a well, yeah. Okay, as you guys round the next ledge.
A map!
Who could have ever predicted?
Level 1.
So this is level 1, 2, 3. You see like this multi-tiered cliff system where you guys are on the highest level on a path that ends. You can see sort of like where stairs used to be, but they've all been broken off the side of the cliff and descend into a larger portion of a lower level that has what used to be sort of like ruins that either had a fountain or a statue or something in the center, with a broken staircase across the way from you guys, and then two other platforms lower that extend out a little bit longer than any of the platforms that you see currently. The lowest platforms do.
Where are we?
You guys are right here. There's one sort of like small boulder sticking out right here, and then
I'll be opening.
so I'll say you guys are right here, and this is where you see the scene currently. You see on the platform just lower than you, you're gonna have to use Theater of the Mind for this one. As I'm using an Unigoth form, you see this large form, maybe about 12 feet high. You see them standing still, but you can see their form shift heavily with their breath. A few feet, breathing out, descending a few feet, breathing in, getting taller and larger. You can see meaty, fleshy wings, disproportionate on their back, large. And you can see portions of copper armor that have been bent and extended and morphed outside of their typical forms, outside of their natural forms. You can see pieces of leather that are ripped, as the clothing of this individual seems to have been pressed to such a degree that it's just malformed, and the armor is absolutely useless at this point. Flesh is dark red and thick and leathery. Large meaty stumps for legs, bindings of boots, only one still barely holding in place, weapon not even present around them. And you see this sort of like elongated, almost like pig-like snout with giant, with large ivory tusks sticking out from the bottom of it. And you can even hear the sort of like
Evo.
You want to do a perception check or anything?
Yeah, you gotta do a prestige.
I definitely want, like look around.
One of you can do it at advantage, or you can double up.
19.
Okay.
Ooh.
18 plus.
I'm getting them high rolls.
Plus 4. 22, not natural. Of course not natural.
You both notice this massive creature who looks clearly like a twisted version of a Denebron soldier. But you see on the staircase that's across the way from you, that's almost parallel to the platform that you guys are currently on, there is another copper-clad individual with a crossbow, just sort of leaning their back up against the cliff and keeping watch on the area where you guys are at. And that is where we will take a quick break, because I really have to go to the bathroom.
Mm.
What do you guys do as, for the moment, the two individuals, one massive, hulking and malformed, demonic in nature, the other a typical copper-clad soldier, keeping watch, typical day on the job, back up against the wall on the opposite side, or the cliff side on the opposite side of you all. He seems to be looking off over his shoulder, sort of like out to the dreamscape, the very tantalizing scene of shifting colors. He seems to have not noticed you for the very immediate time being. So, what do you wish to do?
Are we good? Good stealth.
We could stealth all the way over there. Yes, we could actually. But
Is it pretty like wide open?
I'm not the best at stealth.
What do you mean wide open?
Like the range, like where, like in front of us where the demon is?
Yeah, there are a few different like slabs of watercolor concrete sticking up that are like small barriers, but otherwise there's just a platform 15 feet below you that extends all the way to the opposite side, where a staircase continues, but the initial sort of like 2 steps of the staircase is broken off, so you have to make a small jump.
And then to our right, it's still a landscape going up.
Yes.
We could climb and go around. This seems like the best option, right here.
I would agree, but we'd have to wait. So that the thing in the center has wings, though, doesn't it?
It could be like broken.
Can I hold a hold person spell? Just
How am I going to follow you?
You don't
get
know
on
how to
Herchek's
climb?
Get on Herchek's back.
He looks up the 70-foot high length.
Okay. All right, well,
It goes-
Let's just go forward then. Let's just go forward. Fuck.
You could carry me.
I'm not carrying you.
So you carried me on that Unagoth.
It's different. All right, we're gonna try to stealth behind it, and hopefully, if either one sees us, Varkir, we're just gonna sprint to this guy. Look it. Okay.
So, real fast, I want to before we do anything, I want to use a. Where is it? Is that front? No, I guess it doesn't. Divine Sense to see if that creature in the center is an undead or a fiend
Okay.
or a celestial, I guess.
Okay. You certainly get a blip of fiend in your divine radar, but it's like a tainted form it's like a half fiend. It doesn't defies what you're looking at. In your mind, you're like, this is this is full fiend right here. This is like a monster, but you only sense that it's like a portion of a monster.
This world is strange. I sense evil in that creature, like it's a devil or a fiend, but I don't. It's not complete. So,
That doesn't mean anything to me.
So then again, I guess if it notices us, I would like to try to do abjure enemy on it. I would like to hold an abjure enemy on it.
What does that do?
Basically, as an action, you choose one creature within 60 feet of you that you can see to make a wisdom saving throw. Fiends and undead have disadvantage on this saving throw. On a failure, the creature is frightened of you and its speed is reduced to 0. So I wanted to hold it. So if it sees us, abjure enemy, its speed is reduced to 0.
And it's a wisdom saving throw?
Yes. Let's see what the wisdom saving throw is. No, so saving throw is 13.
Has to be to 13?
But
Okay.
I'm not going to do it until, it sees us. And it's like...
Okay. How are you progressing forward?
Stealthily.
Both of you roll stealth throws. Varkir, roll at disadvantage, which I haven't had you roll at for some time. Scale
I've been trying to avoid...
letting me know that's...
I'm trying to avoid doing stealth checks because I'm like,
Natural 20.
that's why I've been rolling really low. So 10
Already bad.
and an 18, so 10. Do I add anything to that, or just a 10? Yeah, that's it. That's why every time Crow wants to do it, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna fail it.
As you look at the scene and the enemies before you, or the obstacles before you, and then you look over to Herchek to see if he's ready, and it's like you look over your shoulder for a second because he's gone, and then you like squint in front of you, and he's just like blended into the rock face.
Great.
And you both progress forward, but there is a 15-foot drop to the second floor. There is foliage that you could try and climb to connect to the stairs, but if you didn't want to climb, there is still a 15-foot drop to the stone floor below.
Yeah, I mean, that'll drop us down easier. We'll just climb down.
Okay. Both of you grab onto, and Curtis grab onto the foliage. Oh, I didn't roll for Curtis.
It's a snake.
There's a snake in my boot.
You grab on to the thick vines. One at a time, go down. Herchek first, then Varkir, then Curtis. Looking over your shoulder at every movement to see what happens. Only about 25 feet away from you at this point, as Herchek lands his boot on the ground, no sound emanating from it. He gives way and sort of like comforts you both from, just helps ease you both down onto the ground very softly. And he just picks up Curtis and lightly puts him down on the ground before he can mess things up on his own. And you all are now sort of like pressed up against the foliage, tiptoeing across.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I have 40 feet movement. I'm sure it's reduced to half. Can you get it? Get
No.
God. Okay. All right. Where are we at? A little up back. A little up there. Magnus. Where are we at?
25 feet away.
Well, let me get. Oh, crow.
No, his arm's broken.
What would a Curtis be?
We'll do him again.
Oh. So yeah, I'm gonna try to move as forward as possible. I'm gonna try to, as they're creeping up behind the thing. I want to take out the crossbowman first.
How do you plan on doing that?
Just stealthing up next to him and then just try to cleave off his head.
Okay. There is a jump that you have to make.
Of course there is.
So I will say make an acrobatics check.
Could it be like athletics?
Beat an 18 and you will not make enough noise.
Oh, I did. 17 plus 5.
You have a +5 for your acrobatics?
Yep.
Wow, okay. Are you the only one?
I said I was moving ahead.
He's moving, so we're just like holding still, trying to make it so no sound.
Are you holding still at the entrance to the stairs?
holding still wherever
the jump to the stairs?
wherever he like left us? I guess I'd say because we have like 15 feet less movement than he does, so he can go 15 feet more than us. Yeah.
And all the while, you just see this back, this large, muscly, inflated back.
Hurry up there.
Okay. Gonna attack this boyo recklessly. Wow, that is terrible. 14. Wait, do I get a surprise?
You do get to roll. Wait, you're rolling a reckless.
Yeah, so we'll negate the reckless, just say it was a surprise.
No, because you
This bullshit. Natural 20.
As you sneak up step
Natural
by
20.
step, you look behind your shoulder to check on both your comrade and Curtis, as well as mainly the half human, half fiend, whatever it may be, lumbering as you are now sort of in the periphery of its vision.
I mean, from us, it's facing away.
Yeah, no, you're like at the edges of its vision, getting closer, one step at a time to the crossbowman, arms crossed, looking over his shoulders, out and away from you, and at your last step, the ruins around you are very old, very brittle. You deftly make it up to the very last one where the archer is, without a noise. You pull back the Starlight Conqueror with both hands. But a piece of her check just can't help but relish the moment as you... Yeah, and her check is also a large being.
Oh, am I?
As you swing the Starlight Conqueror, the massive blade, it makes this... And as that happens, you notice shit's fucking already done. You gotta do it. You just... And smack it into the side of the wall where the bowman once was, and he's crouched down, kicks his legs out from under him, and slides away from you and shoots 2 crossbows at you. And he says, "Remshis, get them!" And roll initiative.
Abjure enemy.
You get Abjure. That is what you have right now.
I held
15.
No, I know that is your surprise.
No, initiative though. Yeah. Give me that back.
You manage to rip the blade out of the wall just in time to get one of the bolts as it tinks off of your blade, but another one slips right underneath it and inserts itself right into your sternum. You take... You take 17 points of piercing damage.
Whoa.
And
What?
8 points of fire damage as you feel the bolt that's inserted directly in between your chest. You feel this superheated fire ignite as the entire bolt burns away, leaving this gaping hole in your solar plexus. Intense pain starts to percolate out. What did you roll?
Oh, for initiative?
Yeah.
18.
15.
18, 15. $11. Okay. You have your first surprise on the Fiend Man, and you have your second. You are up first, and then her check. You are up next. Okay. Varkir, what do they have to roll? And what does this spell look like?
Wisdom saving throw, and they have to be to 13. They have disadvantage if they're fiend or celestial or undead.
Oh, disadvantage. Okay. 16 off the bat, and then natural 9.
Oh, yeah.
With yeah, you said they have to be to 13.
Yeah.
And it's a wisdom.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it. Just 11.
So it's the creature is frightened and his speed is reduced to 0, so it just can't move basically.
But it's just frightened, right?
It's like, oh.
You see it like in, as opposed to its very sort of like movement intensive breaths, you see it stop, and you see the breaths turn to like this micro faster, as it's like it doesn't know what's over its shoulder, but it doesn't want to look at it. As you see its head turn slightly, You have managed to scare this 12-foot high, muscle-bound, thick leather-winged fiend creature. Okay, next up is her check.
Cool.
I'm sorry, Varkir, you're up. You have your full action.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry about
do
that.
I have movement?
You do.
Can I run and, I guess, jump over this gap to where her check is?
Yeah, if you're not trying to be stealthy, it's a simple matter.
Yeah. Just-
But remove 5 feet from your movement
Okay.
for the jump.
And then I want to aim at the archer. And I'm going to cast. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. I'm going to cast Hold Person on him.
Wisdom?
Yes. His speed is 16.
Fails.
So he is paralyzed.
As he's paralyzed, sort of like back over the edge, hand reaching over his shoulder for more bolts, other crossbow arm aimed directly at her check, face stone, serious and focused. But now, again, sort of you see like the shifting eyes back and forth.
Help.
Does the muscle-bound, sort of like crimson-skinned creature make any save to beat this at on their round?
Let's see. After you can see the make wisdom saving throw fiends and it can't benefit from bonuses to speed for 1 minute until it takes any damage on success. The creature speeds. So it just says it's locked for 1 minute or until it takes damage.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You're sure it makes no save?
Yeah, it says the creature's speed is halved if it makes it. Its speed is only halved for 1 minute or until the creature takes any damage. If it fails it, its speed is 0 for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. And it doesn't say you roll for anything, yeah.
Okay. Rushed up, hold person. Let me. Alrighty then. You have your bonus action.
Oh, I have a bonus action. So, no, I'm gonna leave that one. For my bonus action, I'm just going to, I'm not gonna use my bonus action. I'm just gonna.
Okay. Herchek, you're up next.
Cool. So this guy's paralyzed in front of me.
Yes.
He's next to the edge.
Yes.
I'm gonna bat him off.
For this, I will say just roll a strength check. If you beat 18 again,
that's so high.
It is a
I'm just gonna fucking recklessly attack him
copper
twice. Then. I'm
armored-
attacking him twice. Then fuck it.
I'm sorry. You depend on strength. Do you not think you can beat an 18?
That's really high. I'm not raging, so it's not an advantage.
Oh well. I mean, you could rage.
You know what? I will rage after being shot in the chest by this guy. So I will.
So I will.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
Oh no. You have not been rolling very well this round. You sort of like start slowly walking up to him as Varkir has frozen him, and you're very used to this scene cast before you. You flip your Starlight Conqueror to the flat of the blade and sort of like throw it up in one hand, grab it with both, wind up your arms, and release as much of the strength as you can muster in this moment. And the blade sort of like hits both of his feet, but just like shifts him like upper body off of the edge as his eyes, even though he's being held person, you can see that they've just like started to like
Cool.
as
It's like, all right, spit on my hands. Round 2.
Oh yeah, you do it.
2 attacks.
That's not an attack though.
I said I was recklessly attacking him.
Oh, you're attacking him?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to recklessly attack if he's held person. You already have advantage.
Okay.
What did you roll?
Second one is a 21.
Wait, why did you say you don't then?
For what?
You said I don't when you.
Oh, you're like beating 18. I'm not gonna.
I don't for the first one.
Oh, okay. So the second one at advantage is a 21?
Yes.
God, you're rolling so low. Okay, go ahead and roll to attack or roll your damage.
Uh, 11. 15 points of damage.
Right. Oh yeah, you can't do the. Okay. All right. You have you use your bonus action. Blah, blah,
Was
blah.
that enough to like get him off?
No. As I said, you either pick a strength check to hit him off, or you attack him.
Attacking with like the blunt edge, same fucking thing.
No, it's not. You can't
Either
just attack and get another
slicing
thing
or
happen.
it's blunt.
Okay, if you want
Jesus.
something different to happen than just damage, you would have to explain that, and you did. You decided to pick damage over hitting him off the edge, and I was very clear about that.
But in my mind,
It only matters what's in the DM's mind.
yeah, clearly.
Okay. The fiend creature can do nothing as they are shaking. They're just afraid and they can't move, but they still have their action.
Zero. They can do other stuff, I guess, but they just can't move towards me, I guess. I don't know what feared actually is. You can look up feared, I guess.
But you should know what it does, Rummy. It's your spell.
It just says feared. That's all it says. And it's not. It's like it's a class trait.
Okay, so he, as you are behind, Herchek, he looks directly at Herchek. You see his large, pig-like snout look towards you. The ivory teeth sort of start to, you see a highlight in his mouth of red, and you hear, leans his head back and spits fire. It's this torrent of unending fire that's pressing over you and just singeing all of the foliage around you. Go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw.
At advantage?
I would say yeah, since you see it coming, I suppose. Actually, no. This is
Natural
just
20.
it's just.
Well, I mean, we'll negate it since you said no at the last second.
Sorry,
Wow. Thanks.
I forgot it's not like a trap. It's literally a magic effect.
8. Cool.
Uh, 5, 10, 19, 21, 25, 27, 29, 30, 3 points of fire damage. As you feel yourself almost being pushed back, the hilt of your, the handle of your blade, like heating up to a point where it makes it hot to hold. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
8.
You drop the Starlight Conqueror.
Oh, wait, sorry. Saving throw?
Yeah.
13.
You drop the Starlight Conqueror.
Off the edge?
No, not off the edge, just to the ground. You're not like at the edge right now.
Like you're about to see me commit suicide.
You drop the Starlight Conqueror. It will be at least a bonus action to pick it up. But for right now, you're sort of like arms are in front of you and you're being pressed back from this torrent of heat around you. And that will be the Fiend's turn. Next up is the Hunter. They're going to... It's a Wisdom saving throw still?
Yeah.
What's the DC? 13, you said?
DC is 16 for this one.
16.
Because my class features have a different saving throw than my spells.
Okay, they're still held in place. They have no turn. The scientist goes, "You okay there, Jack? I think I might be able to solve our little large red friend problem.
Do it.
But I can't approach it." And he holds out this like syringe. And he says, "This should be an antidote to the state that the creature finds itself in now." It's like, "But I'm down here." And he's actually going to like hop up. I guess he'll use his action to 5, 10, 20.
So you have that vial on you.
And Barkir, you're up.
Since I'm doing concentration on the whole person, I'm gonna walk up to the guard and I'm gonna try and toss him off the edge.
Okay, roll a strength check.
Come on, big money, no whammies.
Of course,
Wow,
when
that's,
it's it actually counts for something.
5. So just like,
You realize that like as you're putting your hands around it, you've already wasted too much time in this turn, but you realize that it's just like very thick copper plating, even for like a ranged individual.
I'm like,
and you're just like,
nah.
and you look at her check and realize why he didn't cut him off the first time, and also like the entire sort of like black singed portion around her check.
It's like, somebody else can try and push this guy off. As I look at his darting eyes, like, yeah, you're going over there. Walk back.
You still have your bonus action. Did you use your bonus action for anything?
No.
You take the syringe?
I take this syringe, yes. I'll hold on to this, I guess, since you didn't want to just stab the creature right there. All right.
Okay. Her check, you're up.
I see Varkir struggling, and I will assist to roll him off.
Remember, strength.
Yeah, strength. Got it. Strength. Yeah, cool. Got it.
At advantage.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Yeah. Got it this time. Like me being engulfed in flames.
Failing to decapitate him, getting shot by him, failing to hit him off the edge, and being entirely encompassed in flames has culminated into the fury, the true fury beyond the rage that you can naturally give yourself. You grab this individual by their copper boots and just lift them up with both of your hands as they're perfectly horizontal. Like, look into the archer's eyes as you lock eyes with this individual, and you can see his head imperceptibly shift back and forth as you just hold them over the edge, bid them adieu, and let go as their stasis induced coffin holds them still all the way to the bottom as they disappear into the shifting, beautiful canopy of the trees below.
Still got 50 seconds of hold.
Actually, you see their body just like kink, 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 kink in their stasis form.
Oh god.
And all the way to the point where you can almost see the health points deplete per ledge that it hits. And on the final one, their body just goes limp. The spell fails because they're dead, and they just continue falling down all the way.
Okay, and then is there like a turnaround here?
There is, yes.
Okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let us, Curtis. I'm gonna keep this vial.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's just go.
And
We'll leave it.
You know that you have a head start of exactly 48 seconds.
We don't know when it'll follow us.
Run!
Okay, you continue past along this cliff face at a sprint, at a run.
Yeah, we're going.
Some of the trail falls into the abyss from underneath your feet as you're running along this path, and you meet an outcropping of stone along the next path that ascends into a very ancient staircase going up and up and up and up about 100 feet until you see this shifting of like pulsing black and green and blue all intermingling with one another at the horizon of the top of this step.
Do we see any people or?
You don't see anybody right now.
Okay,
I
I think we got some distance. I would like to sit down for a minute or two.
See, what is that? I want to say cacophony of colors, but I'm not sure if that's the right word. But yes, cacophony of colors.
And it feels like the nightmares that you've had come to the forefront of your mind at this point, as you see sort of like the pulsing black swirling color at the top of this massive staircase. It is almost like shooting these nightmare images into your mind. Some are yours, some are foreign that you've never seen before. All scenes of dark nightmare.
I'm proposing a short rest.
I'm getting assaulted by some pretty interesting.
Well, you need to
visions
suck
here.
it the fuck up.
How can you sleep in this? How can you rest while
I
you're
don't
being
have
assaulted
nightmares. Nightmares have me.
So you do have
Yeah.
nightmares. That means.
So what are you doing?
I guess
I want to take
you
a
want
short
to take a
rest.
short like sit here. I guess we can take a short sit, but I mean, we're not. It's not going to really do much for us. A short rest would be like 2 hours, I think, wouldn't it? Or like an hour and a half. Or
Something.
I don't think we have. That thing's only held for 48 more seconds.
Well then, fine. Let's just keep going. I'm just letting you know that. Fuck.
So as we're going,
I took a lot of damage.
He says he's damaged. I'm gonna reach up to him. I'm like, here, this will help you rest, and I'm gonna cast.
You hear this come from behind you, and you can only see the influence of red colors, sort of like as this bouquet of fire appears from around the corner. In this, you can imagine this torrent of flame that this creature's letting out as it's now at the very edge of its holding.
So I am going to do healing or cure wounds on you at a third level, so you get 3d8 plus 4.
I swear to God, if you roll 3 ones.
So that's a
7,
7, 4,
11,
8
19,
plus 4.
23. A lot better. Now let's run.
Run!
We're running. We're running up the stairs.
Paris, are you okay?
It's either death or you keep running.
I'm used to thinking, not running.
No, think about running.
Yeah, think about running or death.
Oh!
Okay, as you start to see, as you're sort of like cresting these stairs, you see first off this 2 hovering crystals about 20 feet in the air, separated by about 40 or 50 feet each, hovering on their own sort of disc, their own small island platforms. And as you continue to run over the stairs, the scene reveals itself as you start to see a little bit lower the forehead and blank face of this massive individual sitting in this wood constructed throne of tangled roots intermingling with each other to construct this throne that is hovering off of the ground. It's almost as though a tree sprouted and grew into this natural structure of a throne. The individual sleeps with 4 arms tucked together, head down. It almost seems as though their body has taken atrophy from this. Really, just look at this right here. As you spot Moriandal, the guiding dreamer, in his throne, asleep for who now knows how long. On the crystal, let me reveal this too.
Another map! 2 in 1 night! How spoiled.
We're getting expensive, folks.
Yeah, it's getting real expensive over here.
Those markers aren't cheap.
And I don't even get paid, so I don't know how it could be expensive. Put it right there. You get to the final step and see these 2, again, floating crystals 20 feet into the air. One is jet black, and it seems to be pulsing this this light down as black as the crystal itself. That's just sort of like impacting the floating island below it. Just you feel nothing but menace and evil pulsing from this crystal. From the crystal on the right side of you all, it's this still very vibrant blue crystal pulsing down this brilliant white and blue light into the platform below it. And you can see that a one single copper clad individual, a woman, who seems to have skin made of scales. She's a bit taller and more lanky than the rest. She has horns coming off of her scalp, is almost standing guard over this machine that is connected to this black crystal. A copper cap on the bottom and a copper cap on the top. 2 tubes connected to this machine that's just sort of billowing out this black essence. You see on the right blue crystal, 2 individuals hastily setting up a cap on the bottom of the blue crystal, and one sort of like trying to put a cap on the top. And you see one more individual at the base, another monstrous form, hulking though, one arm just massive in length, touching the ground with its knuckles, the other arm more humanoid, standing at about 10, 11 feet, but thicker than the previous fiend you had seen before at the base, almost standing guard over both of these crystals currently. And this is the scene that you see before you. As let me place the monster.
You still have that vial, remember?
Nobody has the vial.
Yeah, the vial that Curtis gave me?
Oh, yes, correct.
Oh, yeah? Another important item. Oh, yeah! Just got that important thing,
just,
like that name
just
that
like
we could have
Hegerax,
used
right?
on
Hegerax,
Hegerax,
yeah.
exactly.
The patient corruption. It didn't matter. Dark here knows no names. but Vark here may. Since it's a cross between the two right now, you could, you never know. He may switch between evil and good right now. He's been quite consistent switching between them so far. Helping good people, eating bad people.
We're running to the right one.
To the blue crystal?
Okay, so this is the scene that you see before you, and the woman up top points at you three.
Pointing's rude.
And goes, "Interlopers! Take them out! Our work cannot be undone!"
Whoa. I want to point to Curtis like, we brought the scientist!
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage.
So that would be a 9 plus 5 was...
At disadvantage.
Yeah. This is a 14 plus a 5, so... So it'd be 14 for the lowest one, yeah.
Kill them all!
Dang
The
it!
scientist can be replaced!
What? Did you hear that, Curtis? Come give us whatever you have.
No. Roll initiative.
I tried, Curtis. I tried. Oh, crap. Piss. So that's
8.
9.
Well, we started off the game strong.
I don't think you did.
I was rolling pretty high.
Curtis, we need your help on this one. Come on. What you said? You had 2 vials in the very beginning. What did those vials do?
He gave you one.
Well, you gave me one, the red one, but what does the other one do?
The other one just brings us into this realm. That's why I deemed it useless.
What's wrong with you? Why would you bring us in?
Another one takes us out.
Do you have the one that takes us out? Let me guess, no.
He looks at it very, like, temptingly.
All right, well, I'm
And
I pulled this- the
who?
red
What did
syringe
you
out.
guys roll again? Sorry,
I rolled an 8.
I forgot to roll for the
a
scientist.
9.
Of course.
I roll a 1.
Yes.
Scientist just like, I don't want to fight. I'm a conscientious objector or a coward.
I don't know why I'm calling him scientist, Curtis.
Because he's a scientist. That's why.
Okay. The large fisted Hulk goes and smashes one of the stone sort of barriers. You can see that the barriers circulate around Moriendel. Destroys one with the giant I guess grown appendage and just slams it into. We'll do 1 through 3 is you, Varkir. 4 through 6 is you,
Get
Hercha.
the scientist.
I mean, there is a scientist there too.
The scientist is on the stairs, like behind both of you.
Come on.
16.
I'm still raging.
Does 16 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. As sort of like you can see this eclipsed sun behind you that is eclipsed, like all of the light, even from that, or the twilight that it's creating, is eclipsed by this giant fist as it slams down. On to you!
He's giving you a pounding, isn't he? Yeah.
Wow, okay.
If you don't use that thing, I will kill you.
You...
I just sit there like, I have this, like, no, it's not the right angle. I can't do it, sorry.
You take 33 points of bludgeoning damage,
Is that halved?
reduced to 16.
Jesus Christ.
Dang.
Ooh, 24 beats your armor class, I assume. Oh, I'm sorry. Not 33. 36, reduced to 13.
Okay.
36. No, Jesus, I'm stupid. Reduced to 18. That's what 36 divided by 2 is. The next one is...
Oh, is 2 attacks?
Yeah, he has a multi-attack. And so he's just... 14. 32 reduced to 16 points of damage for the second bludgeoning attack.
If that thing attacks me one more time, Remy, I'm down.
Yeah, so I'm just like...
You're down?
No, I said if it attacks me one more time.
Like the double attack, yeah. That's
Wait,
60 points of damage
Didn't you have
per time.
full health coming into this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
But that'd be 60
I took
points of...
32 points fire damage plus additional damage from the fucking arrow.
okay.
I just took like almost 40 points of damage there. Yeah. Taking all the damage, as always. Doing all the damage, as always.
Oh, I didn't know I had this. Okay, I'll use that, actually.
Okay. Next up, you see the woman, sort of like turn her shoulder to you and walk into the pulsing black pillar, on the platform that she's currently on. She walks through and disappears.
Ooh.
Next up is the familiar shaped paladin on the platform, on the blue platform, connecting the plug, and he goes, "Finish this up. I'll handle them." And he walks to the edge and starts sort of like, he holds his sword up in the air, where you start to see turn bright red, and at the tip of it, a spark starts to form, and it turns into flame, and he holds it, and he points it down at you, Varkir. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Luckily, I have ample amounts of dexterity. I have a 100 to my dexterity, so 12. Adding a 0. Because I have a 0, so that's 120 basically.
You guys will learn that the Denebron
It's
army...
120. It's 120 because add a 0 to it, right?
12, 13. I rolled no.
Don't hit me anymore. All right? I'm sorry.
I can't do simple math. 17, 20 points of fire damage. And it's a continual beam as well. And you can see him hold his other hand up in the air. And this red sort of like sing, 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 familiar to you, although a different color, sanctuary spell highlights over him. Varkir, you are up.
All right, so for my attack, so that creature is like right next to me, right? Or right in front of us?
Yeah, the creature is within batting distance of both you and her check.
So can I take that vial that I had from Curtis and into the... Wait. First one, check and see if I have does he have bronze-plated armor on at all?
You do notice portions of bronze-plated armor, yet it has sort of the natural form has extended and become bulbous to such an extent that it's like just small pieces hanging off, flapping with his movements. There's no sort of like defined portion. A belt is just about to rip as it's holding just enough sort of like fabric to cover its genitals.
So I look back at Curtis, and Curtis kind of be like, "This better work. If not, you're gonna die here with us."
Roll to attack.
19 plus anything.
Oh yeah, so you find like a crease in its thick leathered hide, to just in its thigh, which is about where your torso reaches up, and it's sort of like natural to input. It's hard for your thumb to press down. Actually, roll a strength check. As the pin has inserted all the way in, but
13 plus 2 is 15.
It almost seems as though like the blood of this creature is as thick as its hide. As you're just like, and you see the liquid pour into it, and finally get the last bit of it in, and it sort of takes this stumble back as it's sort of like, and sort of like yells inside of your face, trying to wonder what happened. No visual effect.
Dang, so like that better work, Curtis. And then for my bonus action, I am going to use Healing Word on her check at a 2nd level. So it's 2d4 plus 4. Come on. Up. That's fuck. I can't roll anything but over. So that's all right. Come on. So you get 3 plus. So you get 4, 5, 6. You get 7 points of health.
Every bit counts.
Yeah, that's as much as I can do.
Shut up, Curtis.
I mean, wait a minute. Actually, that's gonna be next time then, I guess. Yeah, so can I use real quick, like out of character? Can I use the blood ring on anybody else, or is it just for me?
It's touch, so you can.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
It's okay, Gannon. Don't worry about it.
All right, so next time yeah. But so far you've only get 7 points of healing.
Okay.
That's it for my turn. Yeah.
Herchek, you're up.
I will, I guess, seeing that this thing did nothing to the creature, I'm going to attack the creature that just pummeled me.
Okay, go ahead. Roll.
Great Weapon Master.
Do it.
Natural 20.
Wow. Okay. Great. Double all that damage.
For the first attack. Hold on. Second attack.
I'm gonna see her like, you hurt me.
Yeah, the next second one is 18.
Just hits.
Cool. All right. For the first one, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 46 points damage.
Total across both hits?
That was the crit.
Okay.
And then second hit, 56 plus the 10.
Are you raging?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do lightning?
I will here in a second from a thorn. 17, 27 for the second hit.
So 56 plus 27.
Yes, and then roll a dexterity saving throw.
83
What?
points of
Okay,
damage.
dang, that's...
And then if he fails, 9 points of lightning damage.
Makes the dexterity saving throw, so it halves it to 4 points of damage, and you see that it almost barely actually affects the skin at all. So it just sort of like dances
it's got
across
bronze
and
on it.
disappears. It doesn't hit this creature's so massive with so little bronze that its hide, you notice it has much less of an effect than you would want. So 2. So a total of 85 points of damage, which is nothing to scoff at.
That's like my health.
That's whatever, man.
That is my health.
That is whatever.
That's like my health right now. You would kill me in one shot right there.
Yeah, so you just like this monster is presenting its full body in front of you, and using the Starlight Conqueror, just slice down its entire torso, ripping it open, displaying broken and shattered ribs inside with one blow. Just another blow, the lightning sparking at the edge, spinning around, making an X across its stomach, is with just sort of like highlighted with the pinkish effects of the sparks from your lightning. Just blood pouring down, this dark, more dark than any sort of blood you've seen before. It's near pitch black, just as it's yelling into the air, dragging its nub across the sort of like the rocks of this area. Well done. That is everything that you have. You see the sort of bow person that's with the paladin put the bow over their back and sort of like hop on the crystal and start affixing the top cap of this device over the highlighted blue crystal that's again pulsing this blue energy into the ground. Let's see.
That's not good. She disappeared into the nightmare energy. There's no telling what she'll come out as.
And
Great.
Well, scientists figure it out.
he's got the cap undone to the potion at his in his hand.
Whoa! You're gonna have to drink that. You're not gonna get out here by yourself.
Of course not. I plan on sharing this with you guys. And he sort of like takes another step down the stairs. It is the Hulk's turn now, and he is going to continue to. He's going to like smack the syringe out of his leg, and he's going to put all of his force into. He's going to put one attack into you and one attack into Herchek, because Herchek thoroughly fucked him up.
No.
God. Fucking.
Natural 14 plus 8. Varkir.
Yeah, that gets me. Plus 8. A lot of strength he's got there.
Ooh. 33 points of bludgeoning damage. As you, I forgot to, you move back 10 feet. So you slide down the stairs. You should have done this initially, but we'll say that you're such a sturdy dude that we'll retcon that until further notice. And you sort of, you take a dip down the stairs, and you are, you're not prone. You're just pushed back, but it is stairs. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
So 33 points of damage.
33 points of bludgeoning damage.
Dang. All right, I'm a little worse for wear now. I still have one more hit.
Oh my god.
Dexterity saving throw. All right, I have tons of dexterity. So a 2.
A 2. Okay, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as your shoulders and back smack into the stairs as you fall down 10 feet.
Yeah.
Her check. Natural 14 plus 8 again. 15, 16. 27 points of bludgeoning damage reduced to 13. 27, because 13 plus 13 is 26. So 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And they're just... Do they have anything for bonus action?
It's not working, Curtis. Why is it not working?
Maybe I got that. Maybe I got that bat wrong. It should. I promise you, it should.
Let me see the other vial you have. Maybe we can force them out into the waking world, and that'll be better.
Yeah, no bonus actions. Okay. You see the... you notice a flash from the dark crystal. And this head, this dragon head...
Nope, we're out of here. We're gone. We're gone. We're getting out of here. We're gone. We're getting out of here. We're gone.
Comes out. And you notice that it's a smaller dragon. It's not an ancient dragon or anything like that. And riding atop of it, as it pulls itself out of the pulsing energy is this laughing female that you saw before. Horns are even longer. Armor is black and covering most of her skin. It seems to be like a make that you've never seen before in a style you could never imagine, as it almost seems to be taking to this world. In the black colors are almost peeling off of her, always just this effect of this sort of like paint coming off of the paper, and drifting and melting into the air. And Curtis goes, This is what I warned you about. The powers here unlock dark potential. Light potential too, if you know what to do with it.
Well, I do have a hand in darkness, so that may be my cup of tea right over there. There is a portion of me that does do light as well.
And she pulls herself out and is going to take a lance on the basilisk that you now notice is what this is, and she leans her arm back and throws it at you, Varkir.
So wait, are there three people on that Dark Crystal's platform now?
There are two.
Just two. Okay.
I don't quite. We'll use another one of these.
I mean, you got whatever's in these boxes.
Yeah, I don't think anything quite fits the bill for these. Okay. Natural 18 plus quite a hefty sum.
Ooh, yep, that definitely hits me. Definitely hits me square in the chest.
Square in the chest.
Oh, well, you have. I don't know what this is.
We're not gonna find it now. Man, my voice is failing me again.
Whoa, actually, dang, there's a dragon in here.
I rolled very stupidly low. Oh, perfect.
I don't know how to put
But
it together,
we have to glue it together, so I'd say just keep it there. Or keep it in the box. We'll use what we have for now. You take 15 points of piercing damage and 8 points of necrotic damage.
Whoa, 15 plus 8. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, it's not good.
Yes! Finally, I will have killed part of the Oren's Obliterate. My dreams fulfilled. And you notice she sort of like puts her hand as the basilisk grabs its talons and crushes the edge of the platform that she's on, the floating island. And she puts her hands on the back of its head and pets in between its sort of like holes that acts as ears. And you see this this sort of like black plate armor appear on the basilisk. And next up is the paladin, who's going to continue to shoot fire into you.
Well, I'm dead.
How much else do you have left?
8.
Oh, it's not even worth rolling at this point.
It is.
Never mind, I have 6 points of health.
It is roll.
not-
It could miss. It could miss.
So 6d6, so you can only fail. Yeah, way more than that already. As Varkir is put down into the ground. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. You are saved, but her check isn't, because you are on the stairs right now.
I got pushed back onto the stairs. Oh.
So her check.
Well, we roll that damage.
You take.
We roll that damage. That was for
15 points of piercing damage and 8 points of necrotic.
Was that 15 half?
Yeah, since you're raging.
Like is the 15
So
the half?
7 plus 8.
I'm holding my set. I'm like,
15 points of damage.
I think you may have to take this one hurt check. And,
Do you guys not have any potions?
I slowly reach my hand out and prepare a cure wound spell. On her check.
And you take from the now pelting fire that's now crossing over from where Varkir was into your shoulder. 9, 10, 19 points of fire damage. Okay. With that, these fools are going to an early grave.
No, we're not.
Paladin says.
You bronze bastard.
Our master work will soon be complete.
Varkir, you're up.
I am going
We're
to
leaving.
freaking
leaving.
point my hand
We're
at
leaving.
her
Just
check,
leave.
though, and I am going to be like, hey, cure wounds, I'm going to do it at level 5, so basically you now have...
If we can only make it to the Crystal of Dreams, we might have a chance.
So
Are
here
you
we
retarded,
go.
Curtis?
Here we go.
Did you see what happened
4...
to her as she came out?
Yeah.
Her nightmares came to reality.
Well, if there's-
That's why she rides a
Like
creature
if
of
there was
darkness.
like a number I had to put on what I'm feeling right now, it'd be a 9
Out of 10.
out of 125. Suck a dick, Curtis.
$21 points of health back. Yay, that's all you get. That's my action. For my bonus action, I am going to cast. Do I have this one? My bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on her check.
Dude, you're also not in a very good shape right now.
I know, but he does more damage than me.
All right.
Yeah.
Just heal yourself. You
Fine,
should probably
fine,
heal yourself.
Fine, I'll heal myself for this one. So it's 4.
Oh, now you roll.
Yeah, that's what I was
before.
saying. 6. 7.
So 30?
Hmm?
Is it 30?
9,
It's 30.
11, 12, 13, 14. So I get 14 points of health back from me.
Okay. You hear a coming up from behind you, running up the stairs.
Something bad is on the way. I knew you were in trouble.
And he goes,
Jump. Don't think, just jump, and you...
and this, you hear the words of the rabbit that you saved and the cracking of a vial in the presence of a blue color encompass you, Herchek, and behind you, just barely at your right in front of you, this sphere appears up the stairs and around Herchek of blue, and you feel hyper quick. You feel your movement speed is tripled, your jump distance is also tripled, and
Perfect.
you can attack 4 times in here.
Can I look around and move
Perfect.
to the rabbit that did that and be like, yes, you, yeah.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
you see this sort of like white blur of color run up the stairs and past you, and the glint of the knife in his hands as he goes, "They don't call me the fastest Phelan for nothing." And he zips past you, jumps through the blue orb that's encompassing you now, Herchek, in the majority of the Hulk, and presses his legs down to the floor and his entire body, and jumps as fast as he can, and he goes in a straight line towards the basilisk.
It was still funny. The fastest failing. Like, oh, you're the fastest at failing? Okay.
And just barely sticks the knife into the side cheek of the basilisk as he's hanging there. Doesn't seem like it does much damage to the basilisk, but it starts roaring up in the air, and you can see the sort of like black energy curling in its mouth right now as the Phelan is still hanging on. Herchek, you are now up.
Perfect. I quickly grab the potion. I chug it.
From Curtis?
Which potion?
The potion that he
Person
has
that brings you back to the real world.
Seriously? That just turned things very interesting.
Just whoop, whoop, gone. Bye. All right. God, this is
the vial
such a-
didn't work, Curtis.
Such
What's wrong?
a shitty situation.
What's wrong, Curtis? It didn't work.
I'm just gonna look at Curtis like, are you sure? Are you sure about the crystal?
From everything that they've told me,
If you're lying and I die, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm very well aware of that.
And you're like, if you're lying and I die, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
It's like very quickly.
I sprint over to the blue crystal and I'm gonna jump up top, and I'm gonna unloose all I'm gonna go 3 attacks on the paladin, and actually I'm gonna touch the crystal. I'm just gonna touch it, see what happens.
I'm
gonna go touch it. If anything happens, if it doesn't happen, I'm just gonna fuck up the paladin.
Your mind clears from the nightmarish images and thoughts that were coming into you, and only sort of like the pleasant feelings of the dreams that have sort of like fulfilled your desires come to mind, and you just feel positive as you touch it. But you feel the energy sort of like pulse beneath you, and you can feel a connection between what your desires are and were, and sort of this like this physical materialization of them. You can almost feel them come true as you're looking into this beam.
Call down the owner of the Starlight Conqueror. You can, can't you?
I don't think that would work. I'm gonna just go, Regendra, be with me, and I'm gonna try to fuck up the paladin.
Wait, you're not going into you're
Oh, I can go into it?
Yeah, you saw the woman disappear into the black beam and come out with this thing.
Yeah, I'll do that then. I'm gonna go into it.
Okay. Varkir looking over the edge and over the shoulder.
As I would go into it.
Over the shoulder of the behemoth, the hulking behemoth monster, you see Herchek just disappear.
Bye. I'll come back soon. He'll be back. Don't worry.
The archer has the plug in his hand and sort of like affixes it to the top of the crystal, and hops down. And that is the archer's turn. Curtis says,
We better stop them.
Maybe you could
If
heal
they
me.
turn that crystal as well.
Heal me, maybe, if you could. If you have any sort of potions or anything, Curtis, because you're kind of useless right now. Not doing anything.
I am not a doctor. I'm a scientist.
You can science up some health.
Yeah, let me just.
I mean, you could.
E equals MC health potion.
Yeah, perfect.
all right. It is the Hulk's turn right now, and he lifts his
Say parlay.
and as he lifts up his arm into the air, he goes, and then sort of like his knees buckle. He goes down onto his knees, and his red skin becomes pink and tan. His form shrinks.
The potion fucking worked.
His body goes down onto the ground, and he's just sort of like twitching and grabbing his head and saying,
What happened? I don't know.
And his the rest of his copper armor falls off of him, as it was only fit in that moment to even
Parlay.
hold on to a giant. The basilisk is going to take flight, and it's going to use its turn to rip the rabbit off of its. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
It's okay. I don't know that rabbit's name, actually. He never gave us his name.
Oh shit. 19 versus 17. As it reaches its claw up, the rabbit sort of like jumps on its fist, wrenches its knife out of the head, jumps up and slams it back down into the forehead of the basilisk. And it just sort of like shoots, it unleashes its torrent of black curling flames into nothing, into the air as it's screaming and arcing around. But the woman now has a view on you, and it takes another.
I know, I'm majestic, aren't I? I'm majestic.
Takes another 6 points of damage, and it sort of like dips down low. And I'll say the woman has disadvantage on attacking you.
Oh, no. Curtis! I'm gonna shield myself with Curtis.
I don't know, Curtis, take a blow or something.
Takes a blow?
Yeah, like one for the president.
And she misses with another one of her dark coursing javelins.
My heart is beating a mile a minute, just dun, 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 as blood gushes out of all the numerous cuts I have.
The paladin's going to go in there with you.
No.
As he...
They're not allowed.
Just hold your hand like
Evil!
push it back out.
Yeah.
Evil!
The paladin disappears into the coursing positive energy. And
He just sees me like with a
Varkir,
paddle
you're
ball.
up.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Set like a campfire.
So,
Yeah. Welcome.
since everybody else is gone, I guess I'm going to heal myself. I am going to. Don't want to use that. Don't want to use the other one. Oh goodness, that's a tough one.
Use something big, Remy.
I mean, do I have this still? Oh, I don't have that.
4th level?
I don't have that. I don't have that. Wait, was I supposed to reset my spell slots for this or no? I didn't, so I have none. Oh wow.
I mean, you've used like 4 healing spells.
Yeah.
You've used that monster one.
Yeah,
You've used quickness of movement.
I only had 2 that were already previously taken up, so it wouldn't really matter. I'm gonna
That
use...
is 2 spells.
Yeah, but they're both first level, so. So let's see. I am going to. I use Cure Wounds on myself. On 5th level, 5d8 plus 4. 3. 7. Wait.
10.
5. 6. Wow. 8. Ooh. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 plus 4 is 19. So I get 19 points of health back. Oh. Hooray. Hip, hip, hooray.
Hip hip hooray! 19 points of health back.
Mm-hmm. And for my bonus action, I am going to stop that. Bonus actions. Where is it? Where is it? I am going to. Oh no, I can't use that actually. Piss. Never mind. I don't think I actually have a bonus action available. I'm trying to check right now. Bonus action. There we go. Oh. So as a bonus action, I am going to use Vow of Enmity. Enmity, yeah. As a bonus action, you can use your general divinity to choose a creature within 10 feet and gain an advantage on attack rolls against it for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 health points or falls unconscious. So I'm going to use Vow of Enmity on the closest creature to me.
The dragon is like 60 feet in the air.
Where'd the giant thing go?
So giant thing is a person now. It's a regular dude.
Oh.
Where were you when that
Right in front of it.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, Ryan.
So then... Yeah, I'm going to use Vow of Enmity on that guy then, yeah. I gain bonus advantage on attack rolls against him.
On the person on the ground in the fetal position?
Never mind then. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to attack him. I'm not going to attack him. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave him. I'm just going to be like... Ah!
You can like hold a reaction to have advantage on saving throws against whatever the lady throws at you. I'm just gonna
be like, where are you? Yeah, I'm gonna hold. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna hold my weapon up. Like I'm gonna attack him, but I'm not gonna attack him.
Okay. Herchek, you spend hours battling at sea. Until your ship is destroyed by a massive serpentine creature who snakes its tail around the entire ship and breaks it. You fall into the ocean, and it swims up underneath your legs, and a saddle appears there. As you have what is the equivalent of a Gyarados. At your will, and as you grab onto the reins and notice that you can sort of like sway it back and forth, a light descends upon you and transitions you from this many hours long sort of like battle that you've always dreamed of to the scene that you saw before you. As the head comes out, and Varkir, you see this large serpentine slithering snake that is 100 feet long come out of the light and snake its way onto the ground with Herchek on top.
Just go.
Thunder sort of like trailing along the length of the snake, as well as you can see sort of this like pink highlighted veins on the serpentine creature.
Dang. Yes.
The hyper beam, the other dragon.
Is hyper beam a move?
Yeah.
Hyper beam continues.
Okay, we can say that a sort of like the arcing energy that's pulsing through this creature all wells up inside of its now gaping mouth. I will roll a dexterity saving throw for them. A natural 1.
Yeah, baby.
So
how many d20s am I rolling for damage?
Roll 6d10.
Oh.
Okay. I have 1d10 if you want to use
I don't
it,
need your
but it's
shitty dice.
a wooden one. Hey, they've been the 20's been rolling good. The d8 hasn't been rolling good. The d4 has been rolling terrible.
6, 16, 25, 32. That was a 30. 33.
33 points of damage. As it slams into the side, and that's just the action of your creature. You can still move around and use your own action as well, as your blade is arcing with the same sort of electric
36,
energy.
sorry. 36.
What does the rabbit get to go?
It was a 9, not a 6.
Does the rabbit ever go?
Oh shit! The rabbit is actually in between you and Herchek. Yeah, it's going to sort of sink its foot into the mouth of the creature, unhinge its blade, and actually it's going to make a dexterity saving throw to see if it can stay on.
Probably should.
Huh?
I said you probably should pop off.
It it rolled a 6, and so like as the basilisk gets pelted by this electric beam, the wings shift and it jitters, and you see the white form arc off. It's about, so it was 60 feet away from you, probably about 40 feet in the air.
He's a rabbit.
They multiply.
One. I rolled a 3, a 4, a 4, and a 4.
Nice.
But I will half it because it is a rabbit. So it's just like slams on the ground. Dirt flies from its impact point.
Tell Ma I love her. You're not dead yet. Oh,
It's front heavy. You need to.
Yeah, very front heavy. Okay, you still have your action. That was the creature's action.
I will also shoot a lightning bolt at it. At the biatch.
You would have to get closer for that. Isn't it only 30 feet?
I believe it's 60 bullets. Check. It is. Yeah. No. Do I have movement on this thing?
Yeah.
I'll get closer.
We'll say 80 feet of movement.
Goddamn. I will snake my way over there. Real slithery like.
Actually, you know what we'll do?
They don't have any gummy worms, so. Oh, wow.
Impact of the ground. Right here, you are. We'll make this you. As you get closer, smashing the ruins in front of you, you hold out your the tempest, the red tempest, and let loose all that you have. What do they roll? Dexterity?
Yeah. Yeah.
I make it.
No, they don't. Oh, wow. That was the shittiest. 4 points.
So 2 points? Or is that already halved?
That is 2 points.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled 2 1s and a 2.
Damn.
Yeah, that was the worst I've
112
ever rolled
damage.
with these 6s.
112 damage.
Yeah, 112 damage.
Oh, yeah, just add a 0 onto that?
No, 112.
I mean, that'd be 1,120.
Okay.
You're dead.
Here. I'm gonna have you drink this and then ask it again. No.
Okay, next up is the archer,
I fucking forgot about him.
and
He's gonna come out of there.
he goes up, and you start to see him sort of like put the final place, the final like shifts both tubes.
Do I still have 4 attacks?
No, you don't have 4 attacks anymore.
Okay.
That was just for 1 turn. The 4 tubes in place. Varkir, the orb is still open.
Oh.
The blue orb.
Oh, okay. Well, dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's just putting everything in place right now. It looks as though he's completing it as you start to see sort of like the machine turn on and black clouds spill out from the seams. And Curtis is up and he goes, I don't know what to think anymore.
Your friends are bad.
I have an escape plan. What you guys hopefully do as well. They have vials on them. Each and every person who comes in here is mandated to have a vial on them.
So if we threw that vial on somebody else, would it force them into the waking world?
Potentially.
So can you throw it at that basilisk wielding chick and force her into the waking world?
You would have to make contact with her skin.
She's coming closer.
It's best
So.
ingested. It might not be immediate.
Very well. Very well. We'll try some other way.
And it is, the guy is down, still curling up. You see him just like sucking his thumb. And the leader is going to roll to see if they get another. Their breath is rejuvenated, and they are going to loose it down on you and
No. Curtis, save me! Save
Curtis.
me!
Roll dexterity saving throw.
Come on, Curtis. You better save me. If you don't, I'm gonna kill you. Ah, crap. 8. Yeah.
Just need to do the one. One moment.
Oh, crap. I have resistance to necrotic damage, actually, so I should have had that 8 to 4.
Oh, give yourself 4 then.
Yay! That's 4 points of health. Apply.
I fucked up. It's not a basilisk. It's a wyvern.
Oh, why?
Wyvern.
Because basilisks do not breathe fire
Mm.
or fly.
Someone tweeting you that are in the live stream.
Yeah. Yep. Actually, wyverns don't even breathe fire, but this one does because it's a nightmare wyvern.
Ah.
It's a nightmare wyvern basilisk. The wyvernary.
Scales of a basilisk, but the
Anyway.
Wyvern.
stats of a wyvern.
Uh,
Basque word.
Oh, that's you. We'll just put you both right there. Such good models we got here. All right, sorry. On to damage.
Tasty.
You're lucky I rolled roll 6, 7, 9, 10, 13 points of necrotic damage. As the
Wait, so that's half of the necrotic. Isn't it?
oh, okay, yeah, so 6. Wow, it ended up working in your favor. And also halved for dude, thank God, because he has like no health.
Wait, Curtis doesn't?
No, he's like a frail scientist
Okay,
guy. He's made no actions of heroism.
I was
strength,
picturing him like
dexterity.
a normal dude that has like 45 health or something. Just like, all right.
Normal
Okay.
dudes still only have about 12 hit points. Remember, at a level
Yeah.
1, you have like
True.
10 is a high amount.
Yeah. All right, Curtis, you're not as much of a bitch as I thought you were. You're an all right dude.
As he's like put his hand down on the ground as he's like leaning back, just like breathing heavily. I'm not going to make it. I gotta take it. I gotta take it.
Damn it! You're needed.
Think of all the stuff you
It's
could
not
discover.
his turn, so we can't do anything anyway.
Think of all the things you could discover, Curtis.
Look at my Gyarados.
And the woman on top is going to She is going to cast Ice Storm. And you also have a set of armor on you that's like, it's not a full like armor. It's like your barbarian accoutrements are extended and sort of like enlarged to like a World of Warcraft degree. And you gain 20 more points. Not much, but your AC also increases by 2.
Ooh.
Which isn't going to help you here because she does Ice Storm on you and your on your Leviathan, and then she follows it up with another Ice Storm, and she uses Quicken as to use a bonus action to Ice Storm you. So what that means is in a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high, centered on you, you take 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 46 cold damage. So that's 9 points of bludgeoning damage reduced to 4, and f- 16 points of cold damage. As this like this immediate blizzard shoots out of her hand and slams into your basilisk. All of the sort of like moisture around, not your basilisk, on your leviathan. All this moisture around sort of like freezes, hardens, and shatters as your leviathan moves around, but it finds it's a little bit harder to navigate, and your speed is reduced by half.
It's cold-blooded.
Wait, you didn't roll. I'm sorry. You need to roll a dexterity saving throw.
I mean, you need to tell me to roll.
I know, I'm fucking up quite a lot. In long games, my brain goes to mush towards
Is this
the
at
end.
advantage or no?
No, not at advantage.
18.
Then it's halved. So the bludgeoning damage is halved, and the cold damage is halved as well.
So it was 8.
Yeah. Wow, not much. And since the creature is part of your dreams, the damage that's dealt to you and the damage that's dealt to it are one and the same.
Okay.
Okay, next up is you see 2 knuckles sort of like curl out of the pulsing dream crystal, the blue one, rock in nature as this golem stands out with copper plating on its form, and it looks like a Baymax but in like rock golem form, as it hops off the ledge and slams down into the ground. And it's going to sort of like put its arms into the ground and lurch up a piece of the stone and chuck it at you.
You need to get in this crystal or something.
I'm trying to. I can't. It's not my turn.
Does a 17 hit your armor class? Okay. Take 22 points of bludgeoning damage, reduced to 11, as it throws just onto you. At this point, I think I'm going to try. Actually, no. We'll make it through this round. Varkir, you're up.
So the blue bubble's still open?
The blue bubble is. The blue bubble is still.
He's
open.
back!
So I'd like to whoop, do the Mario jump pass through it,
Bing!
and then do one attack on the. I have 4 attacks now, and I'm super fast, or no?
Yeah, you do.
One attack on the soldier that's just laying there.
Wow.
That's
You
just like.
slit his throat.
All right, and then
They're
I can.
feeble.
Then I continue all the way to the blue crystal and just try and grab it with both my hands, like, come on, let me in.
Okay, you like the archer just like flips a switch on the thing and.
Well, actually, hold on. No, but yeah, I see the he did that actually. And I forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the wires that he put on that crystal with my other attacks, and then touch the crystal.
Okay, it's an inanimate object, so just roll damage. You have 3 more attacks.
Is it D10? Is it D10?
Yes.
One. So that's 10. I'm only using. Yeah. If I use all my attacks, I can't touch the crystal then, can I?
It only takes movement to go into the.
Oh, well, no.
25 is what you have to beat to sever
So
one
I got
of the.
a 14 so far.
With 3 attacks?
Yes.
You manage to perforate it a little bit, but not sort of enough to stop the flow.
14 plus 2 is 16. Yay!
Not quite enough. As you quickly jump up to the crystal, climb yourself on the ledge, see the two cables connecting to the top and bottom of the blue crystal, now pumping dark energy inside, and the priority for you is to get into that beam, and so you just hastily and jump inside of the pulsing light and disappear.
What's happening to me? My
Rabbit's
atoms.
going to get up. Go.
He's like, they all left except for 1, 2, maybe.
Whatever happens, happens. And he jumps up and disappears into the nightmare crystal.
Oh my gosh.
God.
A nightmare bunny's gonna come out.
Okay, Herchek, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna turn around, see the fucking golem dude, but I also see the archer still messing with this shit. I'm gonna fuck with the archer. I'm gonna attack the archer.
Okay. You remember you have the Leviathan as well as your own attacks.
Yeah. I'm gonna snake my way right over to the fucking crystal.
Can you wrap up the basilisk at all? Like, constrict it since you're a snake?
And then I'm gonna Red Tempest the actual like the machinery to see if I could like I don't know make it explode or something.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage and double it because it is copper machinery.
What do you do? I supercharged
6.
That's doubled?
Yes.
Your rolls are...
I'm not. It's the 6s, man. Like I rolled way high. It would have been a 20 right there. Just I'm not using these ones. They're these basic ass dice.
It sparks, and sort of you see this black smoke shoot out the side of it, but otherwise it just keeps chugging along.
Does that add to my 16 from before?
It does, but it doesn't. Doesn't
like
meet
22.
Yes, exactly so.
I'm gonna line up the hyper beam to hit it and the golem if possible. Kind of get it in a straight line.
Okay.
Can you knock
So you swipe by it and notice that it's not enough and arc around.
No. The crystal first and then the golem. If it doesn't hit the golem, I'm fine.
There's no way, dude.
I'm already over by the crystal.
Yeah, but to hit the golem, you'd have to be like up at an
Again,
angle.
if it's... that's what I'm trying to do. If it doesn't work, I don't care. My primary
At 100
concern
feet, I guess.
is the crystal.
Yeah, so you're trying to hit the crystal or the machinery?
The machinery, obviously.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage. It will roll to see if it succeeds. It does not.
How much?
So the golem will
40,
take
10?
60-10.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Wow. 18, 19, 33. 47 points of damage.
47.
Yeah,
Okay.
I rolled all 9s and 5s and 7.
Nice. So as soon as you curl around, you attack it, swipe it once with your pink mini storm of energy. You notice it's not enough. Curl around as you sort of like have a higher view of the battlescape, and you see the angles start to line up of how you might be able to get both. And you curl around up on the backside and aim the giant maw of your serpent out as the tongue curls around and acts as sort of almost like the reticle, and it releases this energy. The archer looks up towards the giant, the mounting energy welling up, looks towards the machine and jumps at the machine to try and save it before the energy pushes and destroys both the machine and the archer. disintegrates them after pushing them off the edge ever so slightly.
Well, that's good.
The rock island beneath cracks a little bit as the energy pulses past and slams into the rock monster, who fails his saving throw and takes 48 damage, you said?
47.
47 damage. 47 is just like rock shards arcing off and falling towards the ground.
We got off to a rocky start, but now we're...
Fucking idiot.
We can just edit that out.
Just be censored.
Archer's gone. Curtis is you from your vantage point can see him, and you see him start running down the stairs as you see this at the base of the stairs, this red light start to get larger and larger and larger. And he just stops and he turns around and he starts running up.
Oh, it's fucking coming.
And he just sort of like hops over this and hides behind one of the barriers encircling Moriandal. Okay. We'll see if it recharges. It does not. So
his arms are gone.
Yeah, they fell off.
Oh no.
You hear the woman on top of the basilisk go, "Curtis, you're useless. I'll deal with you later." And the black basilisk, or Bassa Wyvern, Nightmare Vern, passes over it and just aims straight for you, as it doesn't have its breath back. It's going to use both of its claws to just and attack your Leviathan, as now it is a battle of monsters.
It doesn't.
And God damn it. Oh, ooh. And put... How much damage have you taken since coming out?
Like 16? Because we halved it.
I told you to add 50 from the armor, but add 20 from the armor, but add 50 for the Leviathan's health.
So add an additional 50.
Yeah, combine them.
Okay.
Because they're both one and the same. And the Leviathan wouldn't have the measly amount of points that you came out with.
You wouldn't have your measly health.
Yeah, the measly.
Okay. But roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, fuck. It kind of slipped out of my hand. 13.
You fail.
But it slipped out of my hand. It's like a cock.
13.
Cock kind of thing. It slipped.
4.
I swear, if I just got another chance.
Ooh.
Nope.
24. 31. 39 points of necrotic damage. As the Leviathan is engaged with the basilisk. I haven't rolled for their attacks yet. The woman on top holds out her hand and casts Blight, as this curdling, boiling black energy just almost leaps from her hand and slams into the side of the Leviathan. And you see the scales sort of melt off and fall to the ground as like the rib is exposed. And the coursing pink electricity inside the meat is revealed. And 2, 6, and a 1 for the attacks of the Bassa Nightmare Wyvern. Both fail. In the engagement of claws and teeth, the serpent sort of wraps around the basilisk and bites into the neck of it and just is now pinning it. It's the result of the one as the basilisk misses a fatal blow, revealing its side. The paladin is going to leap up, clasp both of its fists together, which actually combine into one single larger boulder, and they're going to slam down on you. At least they're going to try. A 4 for the first one, misses naturally. 12 plus 8, 20. Hits. 14, 18. 25 points of bludgeoning damage as the basilisk, or sorry, as your Leviathan bites into the basilisk. It exposes its own neck to be bludgeoned by this creature. Now it's a Godzilla battle of the monsters at this point. Varkir, in your darkened state, you enter a domain of bright dreams. In a similar scene on a battlefield with your friends and allies and comrades. The steed that you ride on top of, what was its original name?
Shaddenrex.
Shaddenrex. Shaddenrex.
Yes.
Sprouts wings, gains musculature, gains a suit of golden armor sort of like it grows a suit of golden armor that was not on it before. You yourself are wearing the most regal ornamental armor that your family has ever produced before. Something that is described in fantasies, but you know from your own time in the Invictari clan that this armor never existed. And just like that, with one last lance slash, you pierce through reality itself and enter wings batting onto the battlefield. What the fuck? Why did I even make this campaign? I don't have anything to represent what's going on here. There you go. An actual horse. There you go.
Real epic.
Yes, Shaddenrex. It's like, what's that?
2 monsters against 2 monsters. What do you do now?
So I guess I have my halberd or a lance now.
You have your halberd.
Okay, so I guess since the only thing left is the golem and the bastion.
And you also have a 50 additional hit points.
Oh.
I'm sorry, a 70 additional hit points.
All right, so then I'm gonna basically. So is there still lightning going on around like Herchek?
There's always a constant sort of like curling of lightning around him. And
like,
Herchek, you are now immune to any electrical or lightning based attacks.
Kind of like fly.
That's all that's happening.
No.
I just want to fly around Herchek for a little bit and like stick my halberd out to like just touch some of the lightning and then just go and try and attack. It's not gonna do anything, but it's just for looks.
Your horse also has attacks. Your Pegasus mobile.
No, well, I'll
so you have 2 attacks essentially, and your movement is 80 with the Pegasus.
So what can the Pegasus do for the attack? For their
Use your
attack?
imagination. It's your dream.
I'll do Rainbow Blast.
Rainbow Blast.
There's rainbows come out of my horse.
Would that really be Varkir's fucking...
Well, I mean, it's now Valiant Varkir, so I mean, come on. He has like a beam of like a rainbow.
Kind of wish it was dark here, so it'd just be straight necrotic damage.
I mean,
But, you know,
he
whatever.
I went into the good crystal, so he got to come out
Actually,
good.
no, the thing would probably be immune to be necrotic damage.
Like I went through the good crystal, so I'm
So
good
is it
person,
radiant
it's
damage?
It'd be a radiant beam. I guess.
Radiant
Just
rainbow?
radiant beam and a slash with my halberd.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 60-10 for your radiant beam. And this is towards what? Which creature?
The golem.
The golem. Okay.
Is this a D10?
Yeah, they're all D10s. They're percentile die, but they work the same.
So 60 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just roll those 6, count
Just
them
roll-
up, and roll another one.
Motherfucker.
What? What?
You have
So that's
so many dice,
4.
yet you
6,
refuse to use them.
8, 10. What is that? Oh, that was from Scott though. Yeah. Still lower than them, whatever. So 3, 5. So what is that? So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 23, 24, 25, 26, 28. 36 radiant damage for the beam.
Okay.
And then for the halberd, it's just a d10. It's this thing again. 6.
Add 2d6 lightning.
Where'd that go? Holy crap.
Where'd that go?
It's all the way over by on the
Here.
other side of you.
Right.
So that's plus 3.
Total?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It went all the way like over towards that side underneath your there.
Your radiant blast from the collected wings of your Shatterax. Shaddenrex.
Get my horse's
wings-
name right!
Unfurl backwards. The tips of them highlight, and it presses them forward, shooting multiple different strands of golden light, shooting into the center of this golem, revealing this shining giant red heart in the very center of it. Your lance tries to insert. You try and insert your lance into the center, but a piece of the rock regenerates and hits it just off target.
I will get you next time as I keep flying.
Through this chaos of different elements in elements and skin clashing into each other and weapons, you hear this across the way at the black crystal as waves of dark energy are curling out. This long rabbit snout with teeth the length of lances themselves, about 10 feet long.
I never got
Chop
this.
out, eyes dark red, ears extending back, about 6 pairs of waving ears, all sort of mimicking this formless tendril state. These huge shoulders press out as this being of about 18 feet in length, this shadow, like imagine Kingdom Hearts shadow version of Sora, only in rabbit form. This like dark monstrous shape emerges out and actually tilts the platform down, just from its sheer weight, cracks the front portion of it and just falls, catching itself, shoulders dipping low, teeth smiling wide, and the red entity is coming up from below, stepping, shoulders rising above the steps, and you just see the rabbit jump and tackle the form sliding down the stairs, and you just hear this bassy black shadow tendrils and bulbous rises of flames are arcing in the distance at the base of the stairs. Herchek, you are up.
I still have the thing wrapped up on me.
You are wrapping up on...
Good.
on-
I'm just gonna right into its fucking face.
Okay, roll
Screaming.
roll your damage twice. Keep the high numbers. Reroll 3 low numbers.
Jesus Christ, that's so much.
This is technically the damage version of advantage.
Okay.
Damage.
Reroll that one. Okay. We'll keep that over.
We got a 9 for that one. That's 3 lowest ones, though.
Jesus. I'm gonna bust out that there calculator. This is gonna be a lot of numbers.
Dweeb.
Ooh. Not a plus or minus.
Parentheses. You do parentheses first in equations, okay?
Yeah.
Gosh. Everybody knows this.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow, that was a much better roll, except for the last 2.
Yeah.
And those ones you got 10s again. Right. 1 more. Do you do the equal now?
Oh, I'm gonna do it 4 more times. Ah! Oh, there was that one.
Too bad. It's gone. It's lost forever. This is what hit you, midnight.
94.
Whoa. Oh, your screen's touch.
How do you want to do this?
I just want to see it just melt, just from the pure lightning damage, just melt away. Is she on top of it?
She is on top of it as you sort of like as your Leviathan has bitten into the neck flesh of this this demon basilisk and is billowing this electric energy into it. You see the skin sort of like extend outward and shift and bulb out as sort of like electric energy is bursting from it, and it goes all the way down its esophagus, all the way down its belly, and it's continuing this effect down its entire body as it exits out, burning its entire feet and tail off. Just the woman is like holding on to the reins as the head is like all that's left, and behind her is just this continual pulse of death energy. Her foot dips into it and is just entirely singed off. You still have your attacks as her check, but the basilisk is dead.
Is she
And
falling right now?
she is holding on with a strand.
Good. I attack her with the Starlight Conqueror.
Okay,
Double
like
it.
you
Like,
you run up the length of the
Yeah,
Leviathan.
it's
Go ahead
perfect.
and roll to attack.
You haven't
we're
used your hand thing at all.
I don't want to damage the Gyarados. We're gonna do Reckless and Great Weapon Master here. 18.
Hits.
Hey,
Nice.
Hey,
Ooh, it's even higher.
Hey,
20 not natural.
Hits, yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna use that D6 anymore. Do that.
Don't use the plastic one. Use the stone one.
Yeah, I know, right? 8, 15 points for the first attack.
Okay.
Well,
Well, how do you want to do this? She's
25.
dead.
Oh, I cut off her head.
Okay, you walk up along the length of the Leviathan head to where it's attached and still pulsing this energy down, and now just like colliding into the ground itself as it's this connected beam. She's holding onto the reins of the lifeless head, and you just walk up. She has no other option towards her, and you just look up. Would a her check smirk?
Yeah, like
Blade comes down, alit with pink energy, severing the head. The strength leaves. Her body descends. dissipates into the darkness. Nothing but shadows rising into the air. The head falls entirely into the continuing pulsing energy, and nothing is left of that being, that entity. That's what you have going on.
Meanwhile,
Curtis is still shivering, and it goes to the thank you. It goes to the golem, the giant golem. And what's your health at?
Pretty low. I'm at 20.
A hit could still kill you from this golem. Natural 12 plus 8.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Bonus action. I still had my bonus action.
You leave that to me.
Stone's endurance? No.
I was gonna
Because
say.
it's about time that something happens at level 12.
I had a bonus action to take a potion. So no.
Actually, hold on. In your sort of like your relief, you can feel you see the shadow over you once more, this very familiar scene, although it's amplified to the nth degree with a monster 10 times larger than the one that assailed you before. And as the fist comes up, you see this, you feel this tickling sensation, this very positive, almost like...
It's coming from the saddle.
Coming from what?
It's coming up from the saddle.
Not from the saddle. From your belt. From around you. And this...
Oh yeah, I would have used that because I was just staring at it.
This nostalgic feeling wells up inside of you of family, of lineage, of scenes, dreams of heroic feats and deeds that your family line has done, conquered, decimated. Fill your mind, and you turn behind you as the shadow has not gotten any larger, and you see this massive green form just holding the brick of a hand with one arm and holding him still as he just takes a fist and the giant green entity just slams. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Yeah. Was this a one attack?
So now you can use the Astral Legacy belt as a bonus action to attack, to grapple, and as like you can use it as a reaction as well to do these things.
Is this?
I'll send you updated information afterwards.
At advantage, or is this just?
It's at advantage.
Okay. Am I adding strength to it? Am I attacking?
Yeah.
Am I adding my attack to it?
Yeah.
Natural 20.
I
I pierce its soul.
Pop his head off.
Go right for that golden orb in his chest.
Yeah, you
And I
knock
rip
its
out the soul of the paladin.
You knock its head clean off. At least your ancestor does. Turns around to you and gives you like a nod of approval of like,
Tip my
this is
fedora.
how far you've come. And it sort of like shrinks down into a ball and gets absorbed by the belt once more. The heart is still pulsing because that was just a reaction of yours. Varkir, you are up.
Do I see this heart pulsing?
Yeah.
I would like to go with my Pegasus and go and try and just
Pegasus.
like stick my helmet all the way through it, like twist and do a clean surgery and remove the heart.
Okay. The Pegasus bats its wings, keeps them close down as you dip down low, spear in hand, as the first point of contact, a clean swipe. Not even gonna have you roll because at this point there's nothing they can do, and they're pretty much at disadvantage. As the wings unfurl, as you're in the sort of cavity of this golem, severed its main cords with your lance, and the wings push themselves forward once more with the same energy and shatter all of the golem's parts around it, only keeping the heart intact, the glowing golem heart at the on top of your lance.
So can I take I'm gonna call it the behemoth heart and put it in my bag of holding.
Sure, yeah, but it's like 3 feet around.
Yeah, just behemoth heart.
You sure you don't want to put that over here, Vakir?
Quiet.
There's plenty of room in mine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay, and with that, you just hear the come from below, and it seems as though they're in their own sort of contained fight. And Curtis goes,
We should leave now.
We just
Break.
we just got the
Break
thing.
the other container.
Curtis, break that black crystal thing, and then we can wake up Moriandel and leave. After that, you can leave.
He's not doing shit. I fly over.
okay, you easily lean over, and how are you taking out the crystal? How are you taking out the machinery, I suppose?
I don't want to damage the crystal. Yeah, I'm just gonna bite it twice. I'm gonna bite it and then.
Okay, ripping one cable in the top cap off, sinking the teeth into the rock of the floating island, sliding them back, ripping the secondary cable off. You see the machine sort of explode in black energy as the cap sort of slide, and the crystal almost fills with this liquid blue energy once more as it pushes the black out.
Can I try and absorb as much of the black energy as I can? No, never mind.
It's not really something you absorb. Yeah.
I realized it. I was like,
and rubbing turns into a dark god.
I'm good. I'm good right now, but it's like I need necrotic energy to make myself bad. But it's like no. All right, fine. He'll stay good.
Will you let me live now? Continue my research. I will not.
What's the term?
Defile
Curtis.
this realmscape with this machinery anymore.
Yeah,
Curtis,
you're going straight back to Orenbelle.
Curtis, let me see that blue vial. Let me see that vial of liquid you had earlier. You were gonna drink it. Let me see it.
We should collect them off the corpses.
Let me see it.
There's no
I
way.
know.
There's still a battle going on.
Let me see this one right here. So I take the vial from him. It's like, you can stay here. Gather one of those other vials that you need.
What?
Just stay here.
No, he's going to Orenbelle.
He wants to be here to do research, so why not?
He wants to continue his research.
Yeah, he can continue it in here.
No, he continued in Orenbelle.
Fine, we'll take you
I
back to
need
Orenbelle.
the material realm to continue this research.
Okay, fine.
He'll go to Orenbelle.
Fine. We'll take you to Orenbelle.
We have a lab where you can work.
We're gonna go fight that guy down there. You wake up Moriandel.
Through all of our trials to wake this being, we have met with zero success, and quite frankly, no path forward. They are in an ever-eternal, dormant state, it seems. What we know that seems to be causing this stasis is a heavily enchanted seal on his forehead, with a mark of a light blue feather.
Ah, son of a bitch.
How could she have gotten here before us? The treacherous witch.
Cole bitchta.
I walk up to Moriandel and I waft the liquid in front of it in his nose, like, will this liquid wake him up? Would bring him into the material world?
You're gonna bring a god into
Oh
the material.
gosh!
You just bring Moriandel into the material world, huh? That would be what a twist.
I was like, all right, well, we will take this news back to
It
our
might
friends.
be for the best that he stays dormant. We don't know what power over dreams he has. The power to influence anybody. The power to insert images and stories. the power to apparently bleed nightmares into the real realm. My research could help illuminate what the consequences could be, what the potential is.
All right, let's get the fuck out of
Very
here.
well. Let us help the rabbit.
No, let's get the fuck out of here.
There'll be one bad guy left if he loses.
That bad guy will have no ability to affect this realm when he's, let's just say, done with his,
Just roll. I'll slither over. Are they still dueling?
It's like a good portion of the staircase in the below is broken, cracked, like charred black, and you can see the platform under them is like cracking. And the rabbit does one like final jump up and like sinks all of its claws and fangs and even its ears sort of like into it, similar to the
Love Death
robots. And it sort of like presses it into the ground, and a billow of dust emanates out from under them as the red eyes look up and over towards you and gives you a nod as it the platform breaks and slides down.
What's your name?
Get
I never
up!
got your name.
Right, you fools.
And that's what we do. I go find the fucking potion.
Would you tell me his name before he falls? 'Cause I was like,
Steve.
what's your name? What's your name?
You hear in a very innocent, untainted by nightmare voice, Billfist.
Billfist. I will tell Afro of your heroics. Hopefully he'll believe me.
We'll never see him again, hopefully.
If I see him again, I forgot to mention that to you, and I take the potion.
Okay. Curtis takes another one out and downs it and then hands one to you, Herchek.
Says, well, I'll see you on the other side. Promise to keep me alive.
I look at her just like, we may.
Maybe. And then I'm the last one to go. I'm going to put my hand on the serpent, close my eyes, and be like, thank you.
Can I give a drink to Shadow Knights as well?
And I take the potion.
As you both bid farewell to your dream beasts.
Come on, drink it, just drink it.
Drink it. A little bit.
It
Take
just
them out.
passes through their mouth like there's nothing actually there. And you all come to on the Unagoth once more. Curtis looking up at you, Herchek, putting a finger to his lips, and then going down and pretending like he's sleeping again. As you guys
And I drop him.
make your way to do your thing.
Curtis has earned Curtis has earned his stay, I think.
Yeah, fuck you.
And that is where we will pick up next time on
Jesus
SASAns
Christ.
and Dragons. As always, SASAns, thank you for watching. Thank you for enduring. Thank you for being with us in this time of adventure.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's what our characters are saying right now. I'm like, oh shit.
As always, until fate next brings us together. And
Never
stop
playing role-playing games.
Unless you really have to, then.
夜明け生まれ来るものよ決して見失わないで You are you 少女